Warning, the following podcast is rated 80s and will not be suitable for some audiences. It will contain kidnappings, drug abuse, violence, suicide, assisted attempted suicide, and Gary Busey. Listener discretion is advised. And now, Rated 80s presents Comics on Film.
When I was 19, I did a guy in Laos from 1,000 yards out. A rifle shot in high wind. Maybe 8 or even 10 guys in the world could have made that shot. It's the only thing I was ever good at.
All right, coming at you almost live from the hilltop of the gritty city, presented in glorious 2.53 stereophonic, ultra hi-fi, polyglamorous Mookie vision. It's Comics on Film. I am your host, Mr. Jeremy Whitman, and with me today is Officer Rusty. Officer Rusty, how you doing?
I'm swell. I'm
yeah?
good.
Guess what? It's time for our yearly performance review.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Yearly?
Yearly.
All right.
Why don't you step into my office? All right, officer, listen. You are the most on-the-edge cop that plays by the least amount of rules as I have ever seen. I've seen you jogging with scissors in both hands. I've seen you, oh my God. I went to your house one time. You were boiling a pot of water. The handle was just hanging out like a kid could grab it. You have no regard for the rules.
I don't.
You don't. You're a detective, but you do things that are way out of the purview of being a detective. Like, I'll help with this suicide jumper thing. That's not your job. You work those homicides, Rusty.
Yeah.
You don't. One time you had issue with some villains. Your solution to that? You tied their house to your truck and drug it down a hill. What sort of meth-addled hillbilly logic is that? You're an officer of the law. Driving through fruit stands, mounting the curb, commandeering vehicles. But you're a damn good cop.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I try.
Oh, this is actually the file for Martin Riggs. I'm sorry about all that. This episode is Lethal Weapon.
Yes.
Start of our special Christmas campaign.
Yeah.
Massacre
on 34th Street.
Massacre on 34th Street. The X-mas Action AXEstravaganza. We've got a good December lined up for our listeners. Our millions of viewers all wanting to be part of something greater than themselves.
Yeah.
We said, what could we do that's special for them so that they could give us money or maybe buy me groceries and bring them to my house and cook them.
Little holiday greetings.
Yeah.
Might as well, right?
Like,
in the holiday spirit.
We need some Christmas movies, but we need some rated 80s Christmas fare.
All of them are.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
What did we come up with? So this one's Lethal Weapon. That's a Christmas movie.
It's definitely a Christmas movie.
Last Boy Scout. That's on our list.
Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Which I have yet to see.
I've never seen that either, but I think it's going to be awesome.
Or horrible. Either way, it's kind of awesome.
It's going to be awesomely horrible.
Yeah, awesomely horrible.
Mm-hmm.
And did you say Last Boy Scout already?
I think I did say Last Boy Scout. Long Kiss Goodnight.
Long Kiss Goodnight, yes. Which I have not seen either. I can't wait.
And the Christmas movie that every hipster has a bromance with, Die Hard.
See, that's horse shit. I don't think it's a... Hipsters don't get that one. I'm sorry. They don't get that one.
Really?
No, it's been my Christmas movie, my go-to Christmas movie since I was like 10. They don't get it.
Since you were 10?
Yeah.
Okay, that's impossible.
Why?
Because it'd be 1990 when you were 10 and Die Hard came out in the 80s.
Okay.
Do not make this podcast
I could watch it
house
after...
of lies.
No. If it was made in the 80s, I could watch it when I was 10. I had this little thing called VHS. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Explain this to our younger listeners.
Well, there used to be technology where you put it on film and you used to load it in the thing, and it would always be tracking.
It was a magnetic tape that had basically the resolution of a flip phone camera from 2002 that you get for $40 at a Target. And yeah, so you play it in your VCR. at home. You would go to a store to get your movies before we all became like Wall-E people who were floating chairs in our milkshakes. So you would go to a store with people. Initially, you'd go to a store with the VHS era, right? There was 2 competing formats. There was VHS and Betamax.
Oh, Betamax.
Even farther back in prehistory. This is right after the Civil War ended. We got VHS and Betamax. And Betamax was better, but nobody got Betamaxes because they were a Sony proprietary format.
I never even knew about Betamax.
Oh, yeah. I used to go to the video store with my dad, and it was one of the ways he would like talk me out of renting a movie. It's on Betamax. We don't have that. It needs to be VHS.
And it's the same magnetic strip and all that?
It's a better, higher quality. The Japanese loved them.
Oh, shit.
Sony owned the whole format, I think, is why it didn't take off, because they had to get license rights every time. Now Sony owns a Blu-ray. Oh. They finally pulled that off like 20 years later. They stick to it. Sony.
Yeah, nobody bought HD.
Mm-hmm.
The HD videos.
Well, HD was a crummy format, and then Sony was there, and Sony gets like every time a Blu-ray comes out, I think they get a licensing fee. So, but that was the deal. There was Betamax, it's higher quality, but everyone went with the VHS because you could make a movie. Toxic Avenger, throw it on VHS, not have to pay Sony anything.
Yeah, totally.
And you made the Toxic Avenger for what, $3,000 or $4,000? I'm guessing
something like that.
Mm-hmm.
$4,000.
So initially there was 2 different. Like you go and it'd be the great ones were always Betamax, and my dad would go, "No, you can't watch that. It's Betamax." Anyway, there was a physical store you went to. It was like a library, but you paid money.
Yeah.
And it wasn't full of homeless people.
I remember that.
Yeah. And around here there was some great ones.
Blockbuster. Okay, not a great one. I mean,
the Blockbuster and Hollywood Video, I think why these don't exist anymore is because they made it so vanilla. But we had Home Video Express was a big one in the Tacoma area, and Fantasy Video, which survived for a long time despite sounding like a straight-up porn shop. Here's the other thing about them. They had straight-up porn.
Oh, yeah.
VHS was a godsend to sleazy cigar-chomping guys in the valley down in L.A. that wanted to make porn. Because you could make a porn.
Or not little kids, but like me, when I found a tape.
Mm-hmm.
And the tracking was horrible. Like, it was beat to shit. It was owned by somebody before me, and they used it as much as me, if not. Well, I probably used it more than them. But
that's the thing, kids. You could wear out your media.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Not like your hard drive goes bad and your whole thing, but you'd go and you're like, I want to rent a copy of Akira at the VHS shop. I'm sorry. You go get the VHS, you take it home, you play about halfway through, and it might just snap because it was like this magnetic rubber band held under tension or something.
What always killed me was when it got stuck in the VCR.
Oh, yeah, it could get
stuck. And it just ate the fucking thing.
It could suck up, like, there's like 17 miles of tape in there. And it could just, if something went wrong, VCRs weren't smart like Siri. They just keep going. And
talk to it all you want. It's not going to do what you want.
So you'd go there, you'd have an argument with whatever guardian figure was there, because a lot of crazy stuff out in the 80s too, like naked women barbarians fighting dinosaurs and stuff. And I want to see this one, Dad. No, it's Betamax. It's not Betamax. It's barbarian girl porn, whatever. So you couldn't see it. But there would be, like, in these video stores before Blockbuster and Hollywood Video and whatever the third one that we never got here on this part of the coast is, ruined everything, would have, like, in the back, this, like, shower curtain or something. There'd be, like, a heavy cloth curtain and no signage around it to warn you that you're going into the stroke den. And as a child, every 80s child accidentally like, looking through. Let's go. You see somebody go back there, you wander back there. This never happened to you?
Oh, no, I wandered back there, but once I did it the first time, I did it on purpose several times after.
Oh, yeah? I went back there. I must have been 8 or 9 years old, maybe. And there, because I saw a guy go back then, so there's some guy back there browsing porn.
Yeah.
In the old analog sense of the word, and they were pretty good about, like, no nipples on the front of the videos, it seemed like, but just about every other piece of flesh they could possibly show. And I'm there looking at them. Yeah, they'd have little stars or something to cover it up.
Like the 4-point star coming off the boob.
Early
CGI
effect adding some guy's job for years. He was the best nipple painter outer in Hollywood. He knew the most stars.
I'm Ted Pasty.
So yeah, I went back there one time, genuinely wanting to find a good movie to watch, thinking I might find like a G.I. Joe cartoon or something. And there's this poor guy, he just wanted to go back there and, privately rent his horrible porno.
Yeah.
His horrible, shameful porno.
And the last thing you want to see when you do that is little Jeremy Whitman.
Yeah. And he said nothing to me. He just pretended I wasn't there, which is the right move, right?
Totally.
You don't put a hand on that child's shoulder and walk him back out with your trench coat and your fedora and your 1980s wide tie.
It did kind of, the shame of porn is gone.
Mm-hmm. To some extent.
Look, it's
we
gone.
live on the Upper West Coast.
The public shame of porn is gone.
Oh, that part of it, yeah. I think the
only
only reason analog porn stores still exist is because some people like the act of feeling dirty in public, right? There's no reason to. I think we should take all we're done with all our real porn.
Yeah.
It's all digital in the cloud-based porno now and stuff. We should take all of it and give it to the underprivileged people in, like, Indonesia or something so they can have it. They're porn light over there. We're going to do a Kickstarter for this project.
See, I don't know.
You don't want to just go into a landfill, you know?
Like,
porn
Survivor.
encourages so much waste already, just from a bodily fluid standpoint.
Do you know about Survivor? The Chuck Palahniuk book, Survivor? It's about putting... Okay.
There's porn landfill in there.
Yeah. The porn landfill. I'm pretty sure they get our porn over in Indonesia. I mean, I'm not a genius, but I think the internet is the World Wide Web. If they have internet access, they can go to Pornhub just like I did.
They probably don't have wide internet access, though. I mean, certain places they're making like.
So we should send them our VHS?
I was thinking more magazines and stuff, you know?
All right.
And like copy.
Was that your first porn?
Reading Rainbow.
What was your first porn? Was it mags or was it video?
I think I probably bought a porno mag at some point, you know.
When you were younger?
Yeah, but I never had that, like, you go and you pull the brick out of the railroad track and it slides away and there's somebody's
totally
porn shack built underneath. Like, I never had that. I do have one good VHS porn story. It was from a John Fox gig out in Pasco, Washington. You ever do that gig?
Yeah.
The Crazy Moose Casino in Pasco, Washington, where you'd be working for... usually it would be up or down, but some weeks, you know, there was just 30 people who didn't speak English who were lured in there by free pizza. So it could be a really bad gig. It was a horrible, the room that you had for this gig was the worst, one of the worst rooms. You would do that one and they'd put you in this horrible hotel. I'm doing air quotes. You can't see it at home. Sorry about that.
They were damn fine air quotes, though.
But it was
it used to be a Motel 6.
hotels next to each other. Yeah, it used to be a Motel 6, and then like the Norman Bates bought it, but then he was put in jail, and just some like his cousin or something was managing it. But the deal with this thing was you had like a TV VCR combo, and they were so cheap about putting up the comics that they had shampoo bottles that said like they were homemade shampoo bottles.
What?
Yeah, when I did the gig, they had like...
I've been here many times, actually.
Homemade shampoo. Maybe you got the better of the two rooms. It was like a bottle that they bought, and they'd taken some packing tape and some paper and Sharpied on Suave shampoo and then taped that onto the bottle so that they could, I guess, buy in bulk or just buy one big one for the room next door and fill up that bottle. And you remember there was... The phone line only worked in one of the two rooms.
Yeah,
you have
a
feature headliner setup in comedy. So you got one guy doing 30 minutes and then one guy doing 45 minutes. And the guy doing 45 minutes makes like 17 times as much as you.
Yeah.
And I was doing the 30 minutes and the one doing the 45 minutes also is the headliner. They usually get the room with the better accompaniments.
Yeah.
So they got the real shampoo and the real conditioner.
The real swap.
But I remember I wasn't allowed to drive at the time because I was... reckless youth, right? So somebody was doing Richland. I think Jake Dill was doing Richland, and somehow I got driven out there and dropped off at Pasco.
Oh, nice.
It was my first road gig.
Oh.
Working with Mr. Huck Flynn.
We're here for movies, aren't we? We started talking about porn. You didn't get to your porn story.
We're not at the porn part yet. I'm setting the stage.
Yeah. Of a sleazy motel in it.
3 scented candles. Rusty's really starting to look at me strangely. So you get out to... Pasco, they drop you off, and there's one phone line that works in one of the rooms, then a line splitter that someone had bought at Radio Shack, and 40 feet of phone line to get a phone because you needed a line phone at the time, too. But when they drop me off, they go, listen, if you get the room we think you're going to get, there's a porno in that VCR that's for you. But you have to pay it forward.
Wait, who said that? Was it another comic?
It was another comic.
Okay.
I can't remember who was in the car. I think it might have been Mosier or somebody, but they're like, yeah, and it's your job. You know, like the Army, they'll go at basic and lift up the tile on the far side.
Yeah.
And there's a big stash of porn up there, but you have to pay it forward. You have to leave that porno there when you leave.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Did you
There's
take
a porno
the
there.
porn?
No.
Okay.
Here's why I didn't take the porn. I go and I throw in the porn tape, right?
Uh-huh.
And I'm all ready for porno. It's
I don't want to know how you get ready for porno. That is
what
that's
I've
the
done is
creepiest thing you've ever said. Just so you know.
I'd taken the Bible out of the nightstand and I'd fashioned a robe out of it.
That's what I remember about that room is the comics writing in the fucking Bible.
Oh, yeah?
Have you ever opened that Bible?
No, I did not open that Bible.
It's glorious. Anyway.
I was in a porno mindset, I will say. It's like, you know what? You say I have a problem suspending disbelief, but if I know two people will be fucking in a couple of minutes, I don't... Okay. You know what? I'm sure the pizza guy would just come in and have sex with all of them without a condom.
So you're ready for porn?
I'm ready for porn. Put it in. Little blip of porn. Static tracking. The Fast and the Furious.
Somebody recorded over it?
Yeah, but they've done it on like the SD or whatever, the super slow.
Yeah.
So I fast forward through the Fast and the Furious, get to the credits, press play. Another little bleep of porn. Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yes.
And Wesley Snipes in Double Impact. These are the two. If I ever find out who the asshole was who did
beautiful.
this, and at that point I became a cop on the edge who doesn't play by the rules.
Mine was I found a porn, and my mom found it, and then she burnt it in the barbecue. Like she found I had a mag, I had a porn mag, one glorious porn mag, and then my mom found it. She took it outside and put it in the barbecuer. And she fucking lit it on fire and made me watch it, right? But she wasn't that slick.
So now fire turns you on?
Okay, I'll get to... Hold on.
Stepping on your punches.
Yeah.
Looks like we got a heckler.
No, she put the lid on the barbecue before it completely burnt down. So, me being the fucking little perv I was, I wanted my porn mag back. I went back, and there was still like 4 pages that were still legit. Right, which when we were fucking 13, I don't need much.
Like in Indiana Jones, like you rescued the parchment from the fire.
But here's the thing: it was just the ads section in the back of the porn, like the worst. They had the stars over the nipples and the call this number for the lady. But there was enough freaky shit back there. It's like, all right, I can get down with this for a while. Except now, anyways, we're doing a movie, right?
No, you were gonna get to the part where you can't smell a gas barbecue without getting an erection.
Turned on.
Yeah. Like,
I had to really hide those porn, the rest of them after the fact. But it was like really just the ads part at the end, which I don't know why. So now, I think maybe because it was smaller pictures or something. Like now when I watch porn,
only thumbnails, or you have to watch it like on your phone far away from you.
Not really that. Just
This is the second episode we've accidentally started with just a long thing about pornography and consecutively. Really? Yeah, because last time we were talking about porn rights. No one's protecting the rights of the porn industry.
All right, well.
And now. So, this is one of my favorite buddy cop movies of all time, Lethal Weapon.
It is the best buddy cop movie.
You think it's the best one ever?
I think so.
Oh, yeah?
Can you think of a better one?
Rush Hour 3.
You're full of shit.
I'm lying to you.
Yeah, you have to be.
I love this one because they have a black cop and a white cop, but unlike Lethal Weapon 3, the black cop was at no point ever told, hey, be blacker throughout the entire movie.
You think in 3 he did?
No, Chris Rock's character, though, was crazy.
Yeah, gotcha.
I mean,
gotcha.
Yeah.
But it was, I think he was a good addition, though, honestly.
Well, they just kept throwing in more zany characters to this series. Lethal Weapon 1 is the pinnacle of Lethal Weapon series, I think.
Yeah, I think it's all downhill from there, but there's still really
There's really great action sequences in some of them.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't get better than driving a car off a conveniently constructed construction ramp into an office building through an office full of stunt workers.
Yeah.
Jump out of the way, then back out of that office building, back onto the freeway in pursuit of your villain.
I think it's been duplicated a few times now.
I think the last Fast and the Furious might have done that.
Oh, yeah.
They drive some cars around buildings.
Didn't Batman go through with the tumbler? Didn't he go through an office building?
He goes through, like, the mall.
Oh, yeah. All right. Huh.
But
yeah, I think this is the best one. I don't know, though. 2 is really good, too, though.
Is 2 the one where he's got diplomatic immunity?
Yeah,
South African guys.
Yeah, they
racist South African drug dealers.
It's the one that ends in a construction site, and Riggs has got to shoot him.
Puts his shoulder back in place.
Yeah, which is
one of the
best
guys
scenes
is going to kill Riggs.
Sorry, you know what? The second one's better than the first one. I'm going to go on a limb. I'm going to totally.
You need this first one though.
Oh yeah, you definitely
I haven't seen
need
the second one in years. 3's great. Talk about cop on the edge who doesn't play by the rules. In this one, he helps with the suicide. He has no business, and the whole LAPD is just whatever. Riggs, go, you zany crazy. I love you. I love you, you crazy son of a bitch. And then he jumps a guy off a building, and they don't even write him up. So that would get you into some trouble, I think. But in the third one, they wander into a bomb scenario. It's like, is the bomb squad here yet? No, I'll take a shot at it. At that point, you should just shoot him in the back of the head. Like, that guy's too crazy to be allowed to walk the earth. But you lose the motivation. The second one's the only one that's still got motivation for Riggs to be crazy because he finds out his wife was murdered. Shyamalan twist. Yeah. And this one, the wife's just dead. The second one was written by Shane Black as well. Shane Black, who's written most of the great buddy cop everything, and
pretty much,
and has a penchant for Christmas buddy cop things.
Yeah, because 3 out of the 5 movies we're doing
Last Boy
for this
Scout.
it's all him.
Long Kiss Goodnight, Lethal Weapon, all strong L's in the title. Yeah, and all of them black person and a white person set together to fight some crime around Christmas.
Yeah, I didn't know.
He's like the Bill Hicks of screenwriters. It's just one movie over and over again. Well, I keep saying that. I hope people look up Bill Hicks and go, how can they use that as a derogatory term? Like, well,
no shit.
He did kind of cut the same album 3 times.
A lot, yeah. I loved it, but
it was such little nuance. It's great from an academic point of view.
Yeah.
So I think we're at our Act 1 break. Yeah. What do you think? And then we'll come back and walk through the plot.
Yeah, we'll hit the plot.
One of the best buddy cop movies. You know why this works? They're not buddies.
Not at first, yeah.
No, they don't like each other.
But even then, I think it's just, even as the series progressed into 2, 3, 4. Wait, is it 4? Yeah. There's still that dynamic of, like, Bertol being mad at Riggs all the time for doing stupid shit. So it still creates...
Well, yeah, he should not be allowed to be on the police force. LAPD's constantly hard up for police. It is. But, yeah, he shouldn't be allowed to be a police officer. And what is it, the 4th one, where they go, you guys can't be cops or you can't be detectives anymore because the police department's insurance because you blew up that building. So we're busting you down to street level. And the first thing that Riggs does as a street level police officer is threaten to murder a man for jaywalking. Pulls his gun on a civilian, gives him PTSD for the rest of his life. Like, this guy should not. But LAPD, if you drive around,
bust them back up to chief at the end of 4. They go from beat cop to chief in one movie.
I think it's detective. I don't think Riggs becomes chief of police.
They both become chiefs.
Oh, they promote them?
I swear to God, they promote them out of being able to cause damage.
Oh, really?
You don't remember that?
At the end of 4 or 3?
Or captain.
Because 4 is definitely going to be the last one.
Yeah, I don't think they're making it anymore.
Yeah. Oh, they're so... Wow. Oh, we'll get into all that.
All
right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to our first break, but buckle up. Because this podcast is probably going to have to be registered as a lethal weapon.
Oh.
Hello, girls. Caitlin, come help me in the kitchen. Hurry up, because I forget where it is.
That's her mom. She's got amnesia.
What if you couldn't remember your real name, your first kiss, or your last goodbye?
I don't remember.
Honey, you have an ETA on that carrot?
Stow it.
And then suddenly...
I used to do this. I'm a chef. Yo!
Without warning.
Give me something else.
Celery! Italian!
Oh!
All your memories...
Name's Charlie. I'm coming back.
Came flooding back to you.
Hey, Charlie. Long time.
One bullet at a time.
I got movement on Samantha Kane.
Good.
I may have a lead on someone. They still have some of her stuff.
This man, he's going to help me find some things out, so we'll be safe.
Your full name is Charlene Elizabeth Baltimore. This could be trouble.
My name is Samantha Kane.
No, forget all that.
I'm in the PTA.
Then quit! You're an assassin working for the United States government.
We have 24 hours to find her and we kill her.
Run for your life!
Charlie Baltimore's alive, sir.
Who are you?
Name's Charlie, the spy.
Gina Davis, Samuel L. Jackson, The Long Kiss Goodnight. directed by Rennie Harlan.
Welcome back. Lethal Weapon stars Riggs, Murtaugh, and a killer saxophone.
Yeah, this is an amazing
I swear to
score.
God, it is the other person in the film. Because every time anything happens, they hit that high note on a saxophone and then bring it down to a sultry,
It starts with a great, the score is going. You got lots of shots of L.A.
Oh, yeah.
And the great what passed for computer animation at the time, the lettering showing you all the people involved in the movie. Then Lethal Weapon, Capitol Records building, and a beautiful naked woman.
Do people live in the Capitol Records building?
I don't think so.
Huh.
But when people write about L.A., they probably just said in the screenplay,
pick out a building,
penthouse or something, and then they're like, it would be really sweet looking. It's a Capitol Records building. It's the 80s. No one's really got the internet yet, so we'll just use that.
It's like 30 seconds into the film, boob shot.
Yeah, well, as soon as the credits are done, you are presented with breasts.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Action movies are maybe not for kids. I mean, kids are busy looking at porno at VHS shops anyway, so you didn't worry too much. But, it's just beautiful young lady. Naked. We're going to see a lot of nudity in our Christmas action axtacular. There's going to be a lot of nudity just incidental because the 80s just did that. Because
they just tossed it in there. It wasn't like
the demo was different in the 80s. They didn't worry about kids so much coming to see the movies. They wanted grown-ups to come see the movies.
Do you think we ruined it for kids nowadays? Because we snuck into too many rated R movies and now parents are worried about kids seeing boobs?
I think it's because the boomers didn't have kids till late in life, and so the money was there, and that's just what they went after. But now all these dorks have all these kids, at 20. The 90s folks, a lot of them
directly talking about me. I had my daughter right at 20.
Specifically ruined movies for the rest of us. Well, so the demo changed, and young kids now have a lot of spending money.
You can't have the chick in lingerie with the top undone, snorting coke, and then maybe committing suicide. You don't really know.
She's just so high.
Yeah,
it's just I
it
think
kind of shows
fly.
her.
I believe I can fly, and she goes,
dumps herself off,
and the whole thing's really beautifully shot. I don't know how they did it exactly. If that's a dummy, maybe there at the end, but it's every effect in this movie is practical.
Well, no, because they do this brilliant thing where they show her flying, where she's going off the building, and then I'm assuming, hopefully, the stunt person landed on a nice pillowy surface because that was a person that was flying in the air, and they did this great thing where they
very
cut
short shot.
Yeah, but they cut to a dash cam of the car that she lands
it's inside,
on. Yeah, it's inside, so you just see the roof dent in.
But there is a very short shot of a human body that looks to me to be real going right at that car roof. Looks just like her. It's like, is that chroma keyed? If it's chroma keyed, it's done really well.
What's chroma keyed?
Chroma key is green screen.
Oh, okay.
It's cropping them
Gotcha.
in. It's just a fancy way of saying green screen.
Oh.
Back in the day, it was a blue screen. Then we evolved to green screen. Now we're calling it chroma key. It's Photoshop.
Oh, okay.
Photo chopping them up. So, we're getting into one of our patented asides.
She dies.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just kind of is like, okay, well, there's the basic, setup. There's the murder of the movie.
This is the MacGuffin, as Alfred Hitchcock would call it. The thing that puts the plot in motion. And then we spend a lot of time establishing our characters, actually.
Yeah. First, it's Murtaugh in the bathtub.
Murtaugh is Danny Glover's character.
Is it Murtaugh or Myrtle?
Murtaugh. It's Murtaugh.
Really? I always put an L at the end.
Myrtle? Detective Myrtle?
Yeah.
The LAPD? I got no respect. No, you can't. No, they have to have badass names. You got Riggs and Murtaugh.
Okay. Murtaugh.
Those are almost over the line like the names of all the Marines and Aliens.
Is it?
All the Marines and Aliens have really badass names.
Yeah. So they cut to
Murtaugh.
Jesus. That's
taking a bath. Yeah. He's just like, suicide, then aged African-American in the bathtub.
Yeah.
You're like, this is an interesting choice.
And his family busts in.
To sing him happy birthday.
In the bathtub.
Two of these children are age appropriate for doing that, but it's his wife and his 3 children, and his daughter's 16 years old. What is going on? This is a very comfortable family.
It was a different time.
Yeah,
Nobody was worried about their kids or their parents being naked around them, I guess. I don't...
Hey, it's LA. They got all types down there, Some families, initially in the screenplay, this was cast as the Murtaugh family was progressive nudists.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Some
Why
things
didn't
don't
they make that
it.
movie?
Huh?
That would have been great.
They did, but you had to go to behind the curtain at the VHS store to rent that one.
I just figured they did it because he'd have nowhere to put his gun.
Yeah. So we establish him. He's turning 50.
Yep.
He's just kind of a classic police detective. You know, he's going to be the straight man throughout the film. He's in no way insane. And then we go to some Christmas tree salesman in L.A., so it's super sunny, doing a coke deal with our other protagonist, Mr. Riggs, played by Mel Gibson.
One of my favorite part is he's trying to buy bricks of cocaine, and the guy goes, "It'll be 100."
He starts counting out $100.
Counting out 20s.
They're just flummoxed by it.
All right, that's 100. And then look at him like, it's 100 grand. Oh, well.
Not on my salary. I love that. Not
on my salary.
Like he's doing a drug deal, but he also has a job. I love this character because, one, he's complex and he's dark and he's brooding, but two, he's this Andy Kaufman-esque person who doesn't care if his jokes are funny to anyone but himself.
Oh, yeah.
So the most amazingly clever and annoying type of person in the world is that sort of person. And he just plays these series of pranks on these guys he's trying to arrest. I don't have that much money. I'm just going to arrest you. And then they're like, you can't arrest us. You're a fake cop. And he Three Stooges them. Yeah, he slaps him around like the Three Stooges and pulls his gun on him. And a gun battle ensues. And we finally establish him as suicidal.
Yeah.
Because he gets taken hostage. He gets taken. And Liam Neeson has to come. Long phone conversation.
The guy's got the gun to his head, and he's like, do it, pull the trigger.
Yeah, he spins around on the guy. He's like, do it.
It's so cool. Yeah. And then he grabs the guy's gun and then like holds it down. The guy's like,
he's going to shoot
man.
him now. Yeah, he's gone completely like, you won't shoot me. I told you to do something. You disobeyed. Now you have to be shot yourself. And the other cops talk him out of it.
It's not worth it.
Yeah. And Mel Gibson plays such an amazing, crazy person. You know how they got him to do that? They said, hey, Mel, just be yourself down like 3 notches.
I do love how when you can tell, because now it's been past Mad Max, or like Road Warrior, Mad Max, and this is kind of like one of his other like major movies after. So occasionally his accent slips.
I didn't notice that.
Oh yeah, I was really paying attention to it the other night. Like there's a few parts, and this is one of the parts where you just hear it kind of fold into while he's being crazy, while he's like overacting. It's fucking great. I don't know.
Yeah, so much so like the first hour of this movie, I mean, the murder investigation is ongoing throughout the film, but the first hour, almost at least 30 minutes, is dedicated to just kind of establishing
tossing them together.
These two guys. Yeah. Murtaugh's going on about his day, finds out that his Vietnam buddy's daughter has died, and he hasn't talked to his Vietnam buddy in a long time, but the guy's been trying to get a hold of him. Yeah. And Riggs is just being crazy all over town. Yeah. Like, there's deleted scenes where he's like, you just go to, up to Long Beach, do a little crazy over in Long Beach, and then go down to Ventura, do some crazy over there, like all over.
He stops some sniper from killing kids.
This is the greatest deleted scene. I can see why they nuked it. Yeah, I hadn't seen it in years, but there's a deleted scene, kids, in this movie where Riggs pulls up to a situation. Despite being a detective, apparently LAPD just has kind of a Mad Lib style of crime fighting. Like, if you get the call in your car, just pop on over and whatever your role is, paper pusher,
just join us,
narcotics officer, just come in and, everyone, you should always be able to do the job of the person above you and below you. And if the people above you are the SWAT team in your Riggs, you're like, I'll just be the SWAT team for this one.
Yeah.
Because they have a sniper at a school shooting kids.
And he just walks up the stairs.
Well, first he's like, is the SWAT team here? They're like, no. He's like, oh, well, I'm going to leave. And they take a little boy out, and the boy's been shot, obviously, and Riggs, he's got a heart of gold. He's like, is this guy a good sniper? And they're like,
no, he's randomly shooting people.
Yeah, he's
not really taking aim. I'm like, oh, okay. And he just walks
Hall of Fame quality.
Yeah. He just walks up the stairs with a Glock. It's not even like he's not snipering.
It's a Beretta 9mm.
Is that what it is?
Internet Movie Firearms Database. Signature weapon, Beretta 9mm.
You did your homework.
Oh, yes. Yeah, he just walks up and you're in the line of fire. He's like, I don't care. I got nothing to live for.
Goes on to the monkey bars.
They let him fight crime, by the way, in cowboy boots.
A flannel and jeans.
He's this kind of pseudo redneck throughout these movies because he's not quite a redneck, but he's got like the truck and the boots and everything. But the truck doesn't have like a big set of silicone testicles hanging off the back bumper or anything. It's like it's implied, but they don't go crazy over the top with it.
Yeah.
He doesn't play any Hank Williams while he's driving around fighting
Thank
crime.
God.
But yeah, so apparently after the drug deal, he's like, sniper thing, I could deal with that. I'm Riggs.
Yeah.
And walks up there. He's like, hey, guy, shoot at me. Because he's suicidal. So the guy shoots at him a few times so Riggs can see where he's at. And then he pulls his weapon out and unloads a full clip. The next time the guy pops his head,
and then drops the clip and loads another one.
Oh, yeah. At which point, it's probably one of the many reasons they cut this scene.
Yeah.
So we're shooting children and we're making LA look like a horrible RoboCop Detroit dystopia, and it's just a little bit over the top. But he just boom, 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 boom. Focus, Crazy Eyes Gibson takes one out. Shoots this guy from like a good 80, 90 feet.
Yeah.
And slams another clip in with machine Terminator-like precision. And I got him, everybody, or whatever.
Don't worry, he's dead. They all move in and bust him or
and
or pick
the
up the
suit,
pieces.
the brass, the chief or whatever, comes up to him and he goes, "You're a goddamn psychopath. But you're so fucking good," and sucks his dick. And he doesn't. That's in the one behind the VHS curtain. VHS store curtain with confused little boy there next to a man in a trench coat. But
so he busts the guys at the Christmas farm. Murtaugh,
Inigo Montoya.
Murtaugh is
he's working his case.
Yeah.
Kind of half-heartedly
in his office, and this is where they finally meet because Riggs is just in the.
Well, first they do an establishing of so you kind of get the idea that Riggs is crazy, but I think a day passes.
Really?
Yeah, because he's at home thinking about.
Oh yeah.
Putting a bullet through his brain, and again doing some amazing Mel Gibson crazy eyes.
Oh yeah,
the kind of eyes where you're like, I can look at this man and know that he will someday direct the most successful anti-Semitic snuff film of all time.
What?
Oh, Passion of the Christ. You haven't seen Passion of the Christ?
Right. I was like, just making sure it's the right one.
It's as brutal as Saw.
He makes so many of them.
Yeah, it's the only Christian movie I've ever seen that holds a candle to the Saw series in terms of torture porn.
When I went to the movie theater with my mom to see that.
Why?
She had a box of Kleenex and I wanted to hurl. Not just because of the story, but the fucking whipping in the back and then pulling off sheets of skin from the dude. I'm like, all right, I kind of want to just puke. I don't know why you're crying right now. I mean, I get kind of why you're crying, but this...
Most successful independent film of all time.
How is that independent? The guy's a fucking... Anyways, all right, fine.
Because it works in the weird semantic thing. Yeah, he's one of the biggest players in Hollywood. Not anymore.
Yeah. No, he kind of fucked that up, didn't he?
Well, never say anything while other people might be recording, which is always.
I just assume if I pissed off a girlfriend, I shouldn't yell like racist shit into her phone. I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. All right, if you're a political figure or a famous person and you're a racist, never drink. Because people can be not racist sober even if they are a dyed-in-the-wool racist.
Yeah.
But if you get completely wrecked,
you don't give a fuck. Yeah.
Yeah. That racism, you will drink the alcoholism to the. What happens is chemistry.
He may not be drunk in that conversation. He may just be pissed off at his girlfriend.
Yeah, that is true.
I don't know if you've ever been mad at a fucking girlfriend or not. Like,
not to the point where my entire view of humanity changed.
That's true.
I've been angry with people. I've never tossed the N-word out repeatedly.
I mean, I love him, but fuck that guy. You know what I mean? Like,
well, people are multifaceted individuals.
Yeah.
He's got a crazy dad. And
but this is way before he was that that weird racist dude who yelled.
This was before anyone knew.
And called a cop sugar tits. Isn't that what he called her?
I don't.
When he got
Oh, he was drunk also.
Sweet tits or sugar tits?
He had an interesting fall, right? Because first he was a big DUI with the bad. This was right around the time you're getting the technology to do the the mugshot.
Yeah.
Online, you go get it really easily, and then it goes up all over TV, all over the world, and all over the internet.
Everywhere.
People meme it now and all that stuff. And then later, so there was that, and he said some horrible things and some 12 Jew bankers run a Death Star in space that, it shoots lizard people beams out and makes you into a lizard thing, and then you join the New World Order, sugar tits.
Sugar tits.
Or something. That might not be a direct quote, but it's along
leave
those...
Mel Gibson alone.
No, I actually will not.
I won't
I have no tolerance for this sort of
thing. The weird
thing.
thing is, did you see after, so all this shit goes down, and then he made a movie that was supposed to come out, Get the Gringo? Have you seen that one yet?
I've seen it.
It's fucking good.
Oh, you liked it?
But it was after all that. You didn't like it?
It's a competent action film. I don't think it's like a great movie by any means.
I liked it. I don't know. I'm easy to please, I guess.
It's just Payback 2, lack of restraint. That's what I would call it. I like Payback.
Right.
I think Payback's a great little action-y flick. But it's the exact same guy as in Payback. It's just like, I ain't going to take any shit. I'm going to do wacky stuff that ends up paying off for me.
Yeah, that's true. But we're watching Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
Well, we're not watching it right now.
So he's going to put a bullet in his brain.
Yep.
There's another scene in the screenplay. I read the screenplay for this when I wanted to get into screenwriting as a young man. And it is written by Shane Black. This was the highest selling spec script ever at the time. It was a 7-figure spec script, which was a script you write and you have no idea if anyone will ever buy it. Although he must have known, because there's some glib comments in it, like when they first go to the guy's house, he goes, "This guy resides in the sort of house I will buy if this movie is a huge fucking hit."
Really?
So yeah, he has this
That's
glib
genius.
style. It's one of the better screenplays to read because Shane Black's style is pretty sweet. And I guess it spawned a lot of people writing screenplays in those styles, and nobody picked any of them up. Because everyone wants to ape what's successful. Because Hollywood always, you have to chase what is successful now, and it's usually something weird that breaks through.
Yeah, you have
or
to
the
chase
next
the dream
Marvel movie.
two moves ahead of everyone else.
Yeah, you gotta
hope you're gonna break out.
Hey, let's put a bullet time thing in our comedy. That'll be wacky because The Matrix. Okay, it's been done 1 million fucking times at this point. Stop it. But maybe a pillow fight, you have a new angle on it. But anyway, so there's this deleted scene introducing him, and it might come ahead of the whole rest of everything we've seen. Because Riggs' character lives in a trailer on the beach, like some sort of borderline psychotic Jim Rockford. Like he's just got this thing. I don't know. I've been to LA. I've lived there. I don't know where you can do this because I could totally pull this off. Like, is there like beachfront property where I can just plop a trailer and live there?
It looks like a parking lot when they pan out. Because there's a
He's
few other
across
trailers.
the street. Yeah,
there's like beach, parking lot, fucking train tracks.
His character, like Jim Rockford, you assume is paying rent.
Yeah.
Mel Gibson's character, he probably just like gave the guy crazy eyes when the guy told him to move away. Flashed his badge. He's like, "I'm a cop on the edge who doesn't play by the rules. Leave me the fuck alone." Rated 80s. But there's a deleted scene from the script, so it probably was never shot, where he finds there's often gangs of 3 toughs in 80s movies.
Yeah.
Like Terminator gets his clothes by beating up a gang of 3 toughs. There's 3 toughs selling him Christmas tree cocaine, certain snow at Christmas, And then there's 3 toughs beating up, maybe even more than 3, beating up this dog on the beach, and he comes wandering through, and it goes. He tells them to stop, and they're like stepping to him, and the screenplay says, "Then you realize it. He wants to fight them, all of them. All at once." And then, of course, he turns him into mincemeat. He just destroys him.
Yeah.
That's why that dog's hanging out the whole movie.
Oh, okay.
So it establishes him as crazy, and then it does this
He's got a
very,
lassie
very
dog.
serious, long suicide deal.
Yeah, which is believable.
Oh, yeah.
Believable like crazy.
Yeah, they told him to envision that his daughter was dating a black guy to tape that. They taped that scene.
Is that what? Yeah.
I've read all the producer's notes and everything. And that's how they did that.
Oh, Jesus.
So they've established that. They establish all that. Over the hill, Detective Murtaugh. Crazy, younger, fit, sexy detective Mel Gibson with his unkept hair, and he drinking beer in the morning. He's attempting suicide, doing crazy stuff. Establish all that, and then
Murtaugh finds out he gets a new partner.
I love Murtaugh's dialogue throughout this whole sequence too, because he's constantly correcting the other detective on not being a great detective. The guy didn't notice that he shaved his beard, and he's like, "Good detective work."
Yeah.
And he's doing detective work while making his quips at the other detective. Because Riggs has wandered in looking like a street person. He doesn't comb his hair till Act 2 at all in the movie.
I don't even think he does then. Does he?
There's a very definite point when he starts combing his hair.
Okay, he gets respectable all of a sudden.
But he's spying it out, and
Watch him.
Riggs has wandered into his little area of the police force, which is like, it says some weird thing on his door, like bombs and homicide or something like that. Yeah, it's a really weird combination of detection. But like at LAPD, it's just, you roll your own. We like people to define their own job around here, So, I want to do bomb detectives.
Out, or do you want to like solve homicides? Which, sure, you could do both.
So he's quipping. We're reestablishing it's his birthday. He's like, "Did your whole family like see you in the tub? That's weird. I'm a sensitive '80s man. I cried in bed." And he's like, "There's a guy in here. He looks homeless, and he just pulled a gun. Oh my god!" And he goes to grab. Riggs flips him over, and
tumbles him to the ground and pulls the gun like at his face. Yeah.
Pointing the gun, kind of snarling like a junkyard dog.
I like how, because he yells gun, and Riggs is like looking around for somebody with a gun. Like, what? Who's got it?
So much care.
And it turns out to be him. And he
flips him over,
the ground.
Snarling at him, gun to his face.
And everyone laughs.
Hey, Murtaugh, meet your new partner.
Then it just smash cuts to them getting into their car.
Yeah, this is the beginning of our... You can't just have a buddy cop movie where they actually are buddies. There has to be some friction, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
has to be.
One of them needs to be an 8-year-old kid, and the other one's like Burt Reynolds. Or one of them's a dinosaur, and the other one's Whoopi Goldberg. Well, this one, you got like, your older guy is more by the book and things like that. And then you got your younger, wily guy who's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And the police force knows he's insane, but it's LAPD in the 80s. So they're like, we don't care.
It's not like the other buddy movies. Like you got like Beverly Hills.
You don't get the depth.
Cop. Yeah.
This movie spends a lot of time working on the depth.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. It's not like... It's normally
the other
like
movies
a wacky
they meet
guy.
within like 10 minutes.
It's
also,
normally like a wacky guy and then a straight dude. Is normally how buddy cops shake out. Riggs isn't that wacky. He's just fucking nuts. Because you find that out because when they go to their first call.
He's wacky, but he's not like Eddie Murphy wacky, where Eddie Murphy is literally doing comedy while fighting crime. Like Riggs is just doing cute things for himself.
Yeah.
Like in those other movies, he's eating a dog biscuit. Not because he likes dog biscuits, but he finds it funny to himself that he's eating the dog biscuit inside Murtaugh's house.
And they're not that bad.
Oh, yeah?
Saying. No,
I've never tried one.
You never had a milkbone? No?
No, I bet in dollar for dollar they're more expensive than people food.
I'm probably, yeah. I don't know. I just
they're
had
probably
one.
Packed with nutrients, though.
I got dared to do it, so I ate one, and they're really nice. It's kind of, yeah. They're not bad.
All right, let's go give this a try right now. We'll be back after this.
This ain't no game, Flash.
Joe Hallenbeck's a private detective who's run out of luck.
If you touch me again, I'll kill you.
2 for 2.
Told you.
Jimmy Dix
I like Prince.
is an ex-quarterback who was thrown out of football.
Another tragic tale of wasted youth.
You're nobody.
Shh. Don't tell anyone.
They were trying to clean up their acts
You vacuum, I'll dust.
when they got dragged into the dirty world of sports corruption.
So you're gonna bribe some senators to legalize again?
Legalize sports gambling. Now,
Son, we're going to a ball game.
they've got one shot
What am I gonna do? Point at the bad guys and shoot!
to get the goods on the bad guys.
This once, I would like to hear you scream. Play some rap music. Not about these, man. Take your best shot.
If they don't kill each other first.
That was a bomb? Either that or a hell of a factory recall.
Bruce Willis, Damon Wayans, the last Boy Scout.
Danger's my middle name. Mine's Cornelius. Tell anybody I kill you.
Well, it's not something I'd want to eat all the time, but I think I do feel more like a cop on the edge who does not play by the rules after having eaten that dog biscuit. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Comics on Film. Speaking very lovingly of the action-adventure, buddy cop, dramedy, Lethal Weapon.
Dramedy?
It's a drama comedy. I think there's some drama in this.
All right.
Yeah.
I
So
just hate that phrase.
you don't like that?
Yeah, no.
Comedy? That's a horror comedy.
Comedy?
Haction film? That's an action horror. Sci-fi is a sci-fi I'm just making shit up.
Sci-fi comedy?
Yeah.
Not many of those.
No, sci-fi. Oh, but the ones that there are great. There's Mystery Science Theater 3000, Red Dwarf, and The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah. I was going to say.
And people don't know this, but Star Trek Voyager was a parody of Star Trek. It just never announced it. You have to really go digging through the IMDb to find
it makes
that
it
one.
way better once you realize that, too.
Yeah, so much better. So we are investigating a murder.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've paired these guys. Murtaugh's not happy. I wouldn't be happy.
No.
Because the police psychologist was talking to, like, their captain or whatever. She's like, he's a crazy psychopath, wants to kill himself. You should get him off the street. He's like, whatever. I don't need some woman telling me what to do. It's the 80s. I'm not doing it.
Just put him with the old guy.
It's the 80s LAPD. They're all psychopaths. Let it roll. So they pair him up with Murtaugh, hoping maybe the older, experienced cop could calm him down.
Yeah.
And their first meeting's damn near a fist fight.
Yeah.
And then they're going to go drive a car. They're going to have an argument about who's driving.
And that's when they have the argument about who's driving the car in the first part is when he flat out says, for the first time, I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah. They have that. Yeah, I pulled your file. I looked at your file. It says in there, Kung Fu, Tai Chi, Zatoichi, the Blind Swordsman, Karate, crane kicks to the face, every kind of, could kill a man with
Bruce Lee ain't got shit on you.
Yep. You turn a man into spiral cut ham just by looking at him. Like, you deadly. Maybe we should register you as a lethal weapon, at which point I wish a whistle would blow. And the movie would be given a red card or something. Like, foul, come on, you don't need that. It's a good movie. It's the only really clunky thing, I think, in the whole movie is throwing that name in there, because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You should be a lethal weapon. Like, come on.
Now, do you think they tossed that in there because of the name?
I'm guessing it
just
wasn't in there and somebody was like, we need to make sure that they understand that the lethal weapon the script is talking about is Officer Riggs.
Oh, okay.
But I think that whole monologue's probably in there. Like, yeah, he's special forces and trained by a CIA, FBI, IRS,
can
NSA,
kid snipers
every
from
three-letter agency.
3 blocks away.
Yeah.
So they go to Murtaugh's buddy or ex.
Yeah.
You don't really know it yet, but they've
telegraphed it pretty well. They knew each other in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Everyone involved in this is ex-Vietnam guy. And so he goes to see his old friend from Vietnam, and he's like, your daughter's dead. He's like, I know, she was into drugs, and she was making videotapes that exist behind that curtain at the VHS store.
In that Hollywood video, that one place.
That Home Video Express curtain. Fantasy video. And he's like, and she was into the drugs, and I want you to find the people who did this and kill them. You owe me. Kill them all. He's like, hey, bro.
And he's yelling, kill them all in the middle of his bank that he works at.
Wherever he works at a department store or bank or something.
It's a bank, I'm pretty sure.
And they're raffling off Christmas stuff. There's a lot of Christmas stuff in this movie, but a lot of people do not remember it as a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
They're constantly saying Merry Christmas, and it's Christmas, and in a few minutes, Christmas is brought up again.
When the chick kills herself in the beginning of the movie, Jingle Bell Rock is playing.
Oh, yeah. Jingle Bell, Jingle. Merry Christmas, motherfucker.
And her dad is mad and tells Murtaugh to find the murderers.
You don't know it at this point, but he wants those murderers found and killed because it's just something he can't do. He knows there's a bunch of them. He kind of telegraphs a few things here.
Yeah.
Murtaugh's like, I don't know if I could just go on like a kill crazy postal killing spree for you.
I'm just a cop. I'm not Riggs.
Yeah.
I'm not quite on the edge.
Maybe this younger kid who insulted my gun.
Look, I was on the edge about 20 years ago. I'm 50 now. I'm kind of good.
No, I've backed away from the edge and begun playing by the rules. I carry a weak gun. It was insulted by Riggs a while ago. Oh, it's horrible. And so they're like, okay, that's our investigation for that part, and let's drive across town. And they get a call in their car about a suicide.
For a jumper, yeah.
And Riggs is all delighted. Like, I love this. Let's go. Let's go help with the suicide, which you need. It's the first 48. You have to solve this murder in the first 48. I've seen it. It's on TV.
They got other shit
They just whatever. Let's go to another set piece. We need to continue to establish that Riggs is crazy. crazy. And they get there, and he does his patented Riggs thing. Is the police unit that's supposed to be here to take care of this very specific situation going to be here?
Yeah.
No? Well, good news.
The negotiator's stuck in traffic.
Good
That's what
news.
they say.
I'm a human Swiss Army knife. I'll go up there. I have just the tools to take care of this situation. And Murtaugh goes, have you ever done suicide prevention before or talked someone down from suicide before? And he goes, yeah.
Sure.
You pulled my file. You probably know this is bullshit. I think what Riggs was actually saying was, yeah, I just talked myself last night out of putting a bullet through my own head.
Yeah.
And he goes up there and he does a great... This is why this movie got made, is scenes like this.
Yeah.
He's unconventional. He's literally, at this point, going to be a cop on the edge who does not play by the rules. This is so on the nose.
Because there's a jumper on the roof, the ledge of the roof, and he just, like... He hops onto the ledge with the dude, like,
and this guy does some pretty good acting too.
Yeah, the guy's very believable.
Seems very suicidal. He's got the most believable '80s hair I think I've ever seen. He's got huge hair.
You know the comic Ant?
Yeah,
yeah. He
looks like Ant with hair.
Dude, he looks like him so much. Like, it drives me in the face at least. Or no, was it Ant? It was another.
I don't
comic.
think so because Ant is completely bald and looks like a psychopathic biker that weighs 90 pounds.
It's the guy that always talks with he does a great, not Bette Midler. Fuck.
Yeah, you're right. He looks just like Bette Midler. It doesn't matter. What
I know,
matters,
but it's stuck there now. All right.
You think on that. I'm going to keep podcasting. Riggs is up there. He's talking to him. He's like being relatable, relatable Riggs, until he tricks him into throwing some handcuffs on him.
He can relate to the guy because
he does pretty good. He's like, I don't know what it's like to think about suicide. You should see me the day after.
Smoke, and then slaps handcuffs on him.
Sneaks the handcuffs on him. He's like, you want to jump? Fine. Now you'll be a cop killer. He's throwing a guilt trip at him. It's pretty good suicide prevention.
Yeah.
And then finally he goes, you want to jump?
Let's jump.
Let's jump. He puts on those Mel Gibson crazy eyes.
Crazy eyes, dude. Oh, my God.
And jumps off the building with him. And this is the only problem effect I think I have in the whole movie. And spoiler alert, you might want to skip the next 15 seconds of this podcast if you can, because I'm about to ruin something for the rest of your life if you've never noticed it.
Which he fucked it up for me, so he's telling the truth, people.
Okay, here's the thing with stunt work. You can throw two guys off a building and land them on a big bean bag or whatever. Probably not a bean bag. That's a bad idea. I'm not a stunt professional, and this is not binding legal advice.
Don't try this at home.
There are ways of jumping people off a building and landing them safely. You hire stunt people. So what they want to do with this is they're handcuffed together. They have to jump off with handcuffs. Well, you can't even, because they're really doing it. It's the 80s.
They're really jumping off a building onto a movie pillow.
Yeah, a thing that I don't think they actually have for suicides, where they put out a giant, because.
Which they should, if they can get it up soon enough.
Okay, here's the thing, though. If they do inflate that big, used car lot thing down there, if they do inflate this giant thing to catch
wacky, waveable, inflating arm guy?
Yeah. That'd be amazing if one of those stopped a suicide.
They just laid out a bunch of them.
Yeah.
It's the equivalent.
Well, no, it literally cradles you. The arms swing and grab, and slowly, you know how they bend forward sometimes?
Bring you to the ground.
And it sets you down, and it looks at you, and then it goes back up, it pulls out a handgun and shoots you. Because it's the 80s. It's the last thing you see is this crazy, wacky, wailing, inflatable arm tube man smile, and then pull a gun.
They go to jump off the building, and what happens? So they're cuffed together, and they go to step off.
They're using My Pet Monster cuffs, because the handcuffs break apart, because you can have some stunt people jump off a building. You can't have them handcuffed together. Otherwise, Riggs' shoulder would be dislocated in the future movies for if he even because one of them's arm would get ripped off and the other one's arm would be broken in 4 places. And I've legitimately
seen this movie probably about 10 times, and I've never noticed it.
And the handcuffs separate, but then to compensate, the stuntmen hold hands.
Yeah.
This is a 30-second free-fall bromance. Because they don't want you to know that they're not actually handcuffed together.
Yeah,
and the
they
editing's
probably only
great.
got the one take, really.
It's pretty good that, in the wider shots, it is a stunt guy.
Yeah.
But you can't really tell. And he lands him on the airbag. He's like, you want to jump? I've distracted you long enough that you haven't noticed there's a bouncy house below us.
Which is really weird to me. That was another part that bugged me.
Here's why you wouldn't use that in real life, because your jumper would just walk the 40 feet left and jump over there. So it'd be like Dumbo, where they're running around with the nets. You have to have some sort of
the pad.
setup. hovercraft setup that could move the thing faster than the guy could get. It'd be like playing Breakout, which is another great 80s thing with your suicide guy. Then you catch him and he boop and he bops and you got to move your thing. Boop and so this establishes to Murtaugh that Riggs is actually insane and suicidal, and he is upset because he's 2 weeks from retirement, 3 movies from now, and he wants to live to that third movie and make sure that he is not injured by this. Riggs is just endangering people left and right throughout this film. He doesn't.
Why not?
Stop it. So we're gonna commandeer this building over here and have an intense conversation about your suicide. He kicks a construction worker out of there. Just get out of here. We need a scene. He's like, are you crazy? He's like, I am. I thought about eating a bullet. He's like, and you're awkward first day, I work with people who are a little bit, wacky, but not like this.
You're suicidal, and he goes, yeah, I picked a bullet out just for it, hollow point.
Great,
so it blows my head off, and he loads the gun, and then
he goes,
why don't you do it? And he holds the gun to his head, and then he goes, no. Murtaugh's like, oh, it's better in your mouth.
A technique, it becomes a dick measuring contest. Like, you better, you know what? You better fill your mouth with water so there's a pressure differential and fucking blow your head up like a balloon full of watermelons.
And they do that great, like, they show the scene with, like,
both times this happened. It's amazing editing. Both times this goes down. The trigger kind
of going, or he's pulling the trigger almost.
I'll do
Murtaugh, right at the last second,
jams the web of his thumb, forefinger, pointer finger, thumb web in there to get that firing. Ow! You are suicidal. I'm going to call someone on my...
No, but before that, he went through this very intense, crazy Mel Gibson eyes staring at him, and then he goes, they're just looking at each other after he blocks the hammer. You do want to kill yourself. Goes, you really are crazy. And Mel Gibson looks at him and goes, I'm hungry, and just walks away.
Yeah,
like, I need a chili dog now.
You need to diffuse that tension, Yeah. I mean, and also that's exhausting trying to kill yourself. That you would be hungry, and that's one way to stave off suicide. If any of our listeners are suicidal, is that keep yourself fed.
Oh yeah,
don't overeat. Then you'll want to kill yourself for other reasons. So they go get some hot dogs or something.
Yeah, and
they go back to their murder investigation.
Yeah, the suicide guy was just a break for a second. They end up going back to they got to find the pimp of his Murtaugh's.
The girls that jumped off the building, Capitol Records building, are out of her.
They got to find her pimp, and they go to the house in Malibu. And I love when they pull up to this place because it's a gate, and he goes, "Oh well, we can't just go in. There's a gate," and then the gate magically opens,
and then
the chick on a moped comes out. And she goes, oh, hi, guys. Go right in.
And they're like, yep, we got this.
Big time drug dealer's house.
That's totally like, I've written myself into, I'll just have some idiot come out and then they can go in. I don't have to worry about the warrant thing, but I can have them talk about it, keep the audience up. It's brilliant. I love Shane Black's movies. They're all smart. I don't think I've seen one of them I didn't like.
We don't need a warrant if we have access, or we've been invited, is what he says.
Yeah, and that's totally true.
Yeah,
they're like vampires, the police. If you don't invite them in, they can't come in.
Yeah.
Except under very specific circumstances. And talk through them through your window. If they do come, like you're having a party that's really loud, don't open the door. They might jam a foot in there and try and come in. Talk to them through the window.
Oh.
Yeah, and put sunglasses on, because all that ecstasy blows out your pupils. And
might give them a reason to come in.
You're on drugs. So they go, and they're just going to do some... They just want to talk to this guy.
Yeah.
But it's the 80s. There's drugs involved. There's some more hot women dealing with drugs and lingerie.
Yeah, they get in the car, and the first thing they see through I love this scene because, like, they're walking towards the pool house, but they look to the main house, and there's two girls just cutting cocaine.
Yeah, and they're having a great time, and they wave.
They wave to Riggs and Murtaugh like, hi.
This is totally out of sync with what we know about these criminals. We know these criminals are evil people who will light Gary Busey on fire to prove a point. They're mercenaries. They're moving drugs. This has all been covered in an earlier scene. But yeah, they see this, and there's been a big lecture. Don't kill anyone.
Yeah.
Because apparently when he pulled that file, it's like 80 pages long. Like every day of police work that Riggs does, 3 bodies drop. Yeah. Just killing people left and right.
And they get in there, and the guy, there's that guy in the beautiful 80s. I mean, it's a windbreaker, but for some reason it has shoulder pads like every other thing everybody wore in the 80s.
Yeah. Under his pants were leg warmers.
Was it?
Yeah. It's a script note. I'm making that up. Yeah, under his Dockers, there's leg warmers.
I was going to buy that.
So 80s. Yeah, so he just takes a shot at him. Just boom, takes a shot.
Yeah.
Doesn't he could have just run away, basically. And they go to guns immediately. And Murtaugh's no slouch. He puts one right in his leg.
Yeah.
Drops him.
And he goes up to arrest him.
He's like, show me your hands, show me your hands. They never just show him his hands. He gives Riggs a lecture while they're arresting him. He's like, see, I shot him in the leg.
Yeah, right after
Which
Riggs
they teach you
locks up
not
the
to
girls.
do if you have ever taken any gun training. They're like, center mass. But Murtaugh is a cop on the edge who kind of doesn't play by the rules.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't play by the rules in a way that doesn't endanger the
Every
public.
once in a while. By the end of the movie, he doesn't play by the rules either.
Rules fucking suck. Most of the people who join the police force, that's what they strongly believe, that rules are for pussies. Yeah, this is another great. Every time
this scene actually stuck with me for many, many years.
It's horrifying.
I think I probably saw it when I was 10. This scene really, because he's got the guy. He shot the dude's kneecap off, and he's handcuffing him, and he's bitching at Riggs after Riggs ties up the ladies, and he doesn't pat him down or anything, and the guy pulls the gun to shoot Murtaugh.
Well, he'd been wanting his hands, but he didn't get them.
Yeah.
So he gets him up, and he's got a gun, and Riggs is trying to lock him up.
Yeah.
And Riggs grabs the gun hand, points it straight up, and then gives Murtaugh a look like, you asshole, why didn't you shoot him dead?
Yeah.
and
blows the guy, or like shoots him.
Kind of throws him away, and from the hip, boom, 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 like 4 in the chest or something.
And
but he's
flies
still alive.
Because they're right next to a
swimming pool.
This scared the shit out of me so
the
bad.
idea is like death by saran wrap. It is
so
but it's
horrible.
even worse because he flies onto this plastic sheet in the middle. I do not know how they did this. This is some dangerous stunt work.
Oh, absolutely.
To throw, and it's a guy. It's a human being. It's not a dummy.
All three of them, too.
Thrown into a pool on this plastic sheet, and then down under the water, and all that water pressure wrapping him up in plastic. I guess the way to do it would be he has some way of having reserve air, maybe, but you get guys down there with knives quickly.
No, but you don't see it. You don't see
You
any
have
reserve
no
air.
idea
you
how.
You clearly sees the guy's face pressed up against the vinyl, and Riggs and Murtaugh jump in after him, and they're
trying to
kind of
save
wrapped up
him.
into it,
Yeah.
and it looks like Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. It doesn't look like stunt guys. And
The second you see that guy go in, you're like, he's going to die. And then as a 10-year-old kid, you're like, they murdered a person to make this movie.
Totally.
Like, I know what squibs are, but they just went out, and like, we'll work for food guy on an overpass. They're like, would you like a jacket with shoulder pads and to be in a movie? I'm like, yeah, I really got nothing going on. It's like, okay, nobody knows who you are, right? And they threw him in a pool.
No family?
Yeah,
okay, we're going to kill you to make this a really good movie.
Oh, you're a Vietnam vet? It's a movie about Vietnam vets. So they're horrible people. That's what you thought, though, as a kid.
I just remember his face pressed up against the plastic and freaking the fuck out.
Oh, it's scary.
Because I swam a lot back then, and that just
Well, you see him going, there's no way. No way you're surviving that.
Oh, no.
So
And
they
he
must
doesn't.
how they did it in real life, they must have shot some guys down there with knives really quickly or something. I don't know.
To cut open the...
Good to know. Maybe one of you, the viewers at home, could tell us on the forum. We got a new forum.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's basically it. He's saved Murtaugh's life. But they're ready to wrap this case, basically. They sit around and wait for their clothes to dry. The rest of the police force comes. They're like, oh, Riggs' body. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like disappearing a dead hooker from Ben Affleck's trailer. It's just routine at that point. So they've sat there until the evening, and their clothes are finally dry. And he's like, oh, the body's going to the coroner. He goes, I've been kind of a dick to you, Riggs, all day. But God damn it, you're a hell of a police officer. And you did save my life. Why don't you come over and have dinner with me and my family?
Yeah.
Riggs is like, cool, I guess, All right, so they go over and they have a charming dinner, and this is where they finally bond. And mind you, this is getting close to an hour in the movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're right. A lot of these buddy cop movies will have all this happen within 15 minutes at best. They'll have that scene with the captain, like Rush Hour, Chris Tucker in Rush Hour. It starts out with like that James Bond intro. He just had some wacky adventure.
Yeah.
He shoots a car with his magic 80s cops bullets that make cars explode or flip or both.
Yeah. And they just lump guys together.
The captain calls him, you blew up 3 city blocks, Chris Tucker. All the blocks were
The
blown
force
up.
can't afford this.
Pretty much blown up together already, whatever. There's not a lot of establishment of character in that. It's like, Chris Tucker is Chris Tucker, Jackie Chan is Jackie Chan. That's the idea.
Done, yeah.
Owen Wilson is Owen Wilson, Jackie Chan is Jackie Chan. They're cowboys. That's Whoopi
This is
Goldberg
a great movie.
is Whoopi Goldberg, and there's fucking dinosaur for some reason.
Which a dinosaur is going to be a dinosaur every time.
The dinosaur has to deal with racism throughout the movie. And Whoopi Goldberg's got to be going, what the fuck? I should be the one making a commentary on the racism. I am a black African-American person. And no, we're doing it about a fictional dinosaur with arms long enough to like type on a computer. Fuck this movie. She wanted out of that movie. But I digress.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, if I could get that, but you have to play that as what it is. I mean, they're not putting me even in a movie that horrible.
Yeah.
But if that opportunity came up, I'd be like, yeah, I'd do that.
Sure.
I'd do that or Over the Top.
I'm kidding. Anyway, Over the Top.
So they have their dinner. They bond. Riggs feels love for the first time since his wife was hit by a car driven by the Cosa Nostra triads or whatever. And
they're continually talk shit about his wife's cooking this entire time.
Yeah.
Like, no wife in the fucking 80s knew how to cook. She, like, half
That's
burnt
like one
a roast.
of the tropes, of the 80s. And she's cooking the most basic food on her.
Yeah.
It's a roast. How could you mess that up?
Stick it in a fucking oven, put it at 450 or whatever.
Open the Betty Crocker cookbook. How many pounds per whatever time or temperature? I don't know, but I could figure it out. I mean, she couldn't Google it at the time, but... Yeah, we skipped a scene, but it's okay, where he has a cell phone the size of a toaster oven that he carries around and makes phone calls on. I think that was just a product placement for Motorola.
That's when he talks to the
He calls
psych.
the psychologist person, at which point he should call his union rep and go, I don't want to be partnered with this guy.
No shit.
Like, police are union, they have lawyers and all kinds of stuff. Stop motion on the whole thing. But they go. He's happy that he saved his life. He shows him kindness. He comes over to eat dinner.
Murtaugh's daughter
has
way
a crush on him.
Riggs.
Yeah, and it's like super obvious. The
They
kids do a little cute
too.
little rap thing, and then this is such a beautiful thing is Murtaugh tries to rap, but he sucks at it because he's old, and everyone, it's all lovey-dovey. And then they want to just wrap this case, right? Murtaugh's like, nah, done. I did exactly what my buddy told me to. I threw his arch nemesis into a pool filter or whatever, the pool cover, and he's dead, and I think the case is over. But Riggs is not having it. He's like,
that doesn't work.
I don't know. That's not going to work.
It seems too easy.
Too clean.
Yeah.
There's a great line, too. There's some great lines in this movie that emphasize how nutty Riggs is, or just how differently he thinks. Like, when they first get together, Murtaugh goes, God hates me. And Riggs looks at him and goes, hate him back. It works for me.
Oh, yeah.
It's such a great little line. And on this one, he goes, you want to complicate things. And Riggs goes, I don't want to complicate things. Things get complicated all on their own.
Yeah.
And he fixes the boat, damn near takes off his fingers because he's an asshole and just starts the boat. He thinks it's so funny. That would piss me off more than anything else he'd done all day.
Just
I'm in there working on an engine, and he... oh, my goodness. You could lose a finger so quickly. But, he doesn't think it's set up, and they do have, like, a charming moment at the end there where they're talking about it. And, he's curious, too, because Riggs is just... Well, he's a lethal weapon. You know what I mean? So he asks him...
Oh, yeah, about
if he's really as good as he says he is.
Yeah.
And they do a good job of shadow playing this, because he does a lot of badass shit at the beginning of this movie, but nothing compared to the badassery he gets into later in the film.
Yeah.
He goes, are you as good as you say you are? He goes, I was in Laos.
Yeah.
I was 3 months old, and I shot a man from space with laser eyes. Ain't but 3 or 4 people. That's pretty close.
That's not what he said.
Well, if Michael Bay wrote it, that'd be what he fucking said.
I was in West Germany. I was 19 miles away from these krauts, and I blasted a guy in the forehead.
Well, that's not what he said.
In high winds.
He said.
That's what he said.
No.
No?
I'm an anti-establishment doctor who was drafted into the Korean War, but I was one of the best surgeons ever in that MASH unit, and I did not, take any shit from my CO, and we...
There was some guy dressed up like a tranny all the time for some reason, and... Yeah, I'm really good.
I'm surgical with surgery tools.
Oh... Should apologize for that one.
I've been advised not to apologize, but this is
by your union rep.
It's finally where Riggs decides. It's kind of the breaking point. And he's like, you know what? I'm not going to be suicidal for the rest of the film.
Yeah,
I'm going to be a police officer. I'm going to go home, comb my hair, and then inappropriately break into my new partner's house and wave a cup of coffee in front of his face in the morning. Because if you notice,
no, his wife lets him in.
I assume he came in through the window.
No, they say it. He goes,
he lied. He's like, he was a tunnel rat back in Nam, so he like came through the crawl space and like sheetrock knife through the carpet.
If you were to come to my house early in the morning and wave a cup of coffee in front of my nose, first of all, it probably wouldn't wake me up. And second of all, I would punch you as soon as I woke up because there's a dude in my bed with coffee at my... I would punch you in the fucking nose.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is inappropriate behavior.
Yeah.
They just met yesterday, and he's sneaking into his house. He's waving the coffee in front of it. But I love it. He goes, "Wake up, Roger. We got to get up and fight bad guys." Is, I think, the most underrated line in the whole film.
It's not even in a cheesy way.
No, it's lovingly.
It's like legit.
I mean, he kind of gets that it's a joke, but it's not like,
yeah,
you gotta go fight bad guys.
Come on, Roger, we gotta fight bad guys.
And Roger's like, and movies always have this thing where people get up to go to work at like 3:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts. It's broad daylight.
He goes, "What time is it?" He goes, "Daylight."
Yeah,
it's you should have been up a while ago.
Morning time, Roger, or something like that.
I just.
Never.
And they get up and they go to.
He had like a vision in the night, or he thought about it some.
Well, that's
instead of attempting suicide that night, he thought about the case, and so they go to the shooting range, and he lays out the idea for him. And Shane Black, God bless him, did not think we'd established Riggs as such a badass. As we needed to. Even in this
measure
sequence,
his badassery.
No,
you really can't. You got to keep adding shit on there.
When he invented trench warfare in World War I at the age of 11, I mean, he's a good. And
Rushing the Krauts in the trenches.
We haven't even talked about what he did against the Terminators later in life. John Connor's second in command, Mel Riggs Gibson.
They go to the gun range, and I like...
He's got a pretty good theory.
Yeah.
But it's pretty thin.
It's pretty thin. That's the part that I...
Fucking anorexic.
Callista
Flockhart, fucking thin theory.
That the hooker that witnessed the murder actually pushed the chick off the building.
She's somehow involved in the murder because they know it's a murder. So that's their theory.
So they did the shoot off.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's another dick measuring contest. This one not involving suicide.
Clearly wins, which is hard against the black guy.
Face with a handgun at like the distance of your average mall hallway, mainline mall. It's like as far as the gun range will go back. He puts the thing back. He's like, "Look at me, I'm pretty good. I put one bullet through the head." He turns his 2 bullets into a smiley face. In the script, it had it a little different. This works better on the screen, is what's actually in the movie, is that he just puts his target back up, sends it back, and pops, because he's got a smaller caliber.
Yeah.
He's got like a 9mm, just fires at it nonchalantly and pops it open to a 45mm shot, which is also, that's splitting the arrow, right? That is Robin Hood Brave level archery, but with a gun. Gunnery, it's called.
Gunnery?
Yeah, it's a technical term. I am a wise and learned man.
All right.
So they've decided that that's not going to work, so they go...
They're going to go talk to the hooker that might have something to involve with it.
They're just... And they're... Every time things go wrong for them, they're just kind of... Let's just check it out.
Yeah.
Should be all right. Let's just check it out.
Show up, and then everyone wants to kill them every time they show up somewhere.
They show up, and...
I like the
get to
kids...
Dixie's house...
Like, as they're going to Dixie's house, the kids see them as they're walking to Dixie's house, and they're like,
"You're gonna bust Dixie, you're gonna bust Dixie."
They're just calling him out the whole fucking time.
I love that this movie's racially aware, but not racist.
Yeah.
Which is a strange thing to say about a movie, ever.
Yeah.
These are not those 2 GoBots from Transformers that don't know how to read. You know what I mean? Like, these are children, and they're socially, economically right, but there's no way racist.
Yeah.
They're cool. One of them's wearing 3D glasses around.
I love that.
Oh, yeah.
Wearing 3D glasses. And the other one kind of looks like Eazy-E, but if he wore, like, cowboy garb.
Yeah.
Because he's got that 80s...
Saying the kid looked like he had AIDS.
Whoa. Yeah, that's about right. No.
Well, hey,
but he had a wicked Jerry curl and then the cowboy frilly jackets with the dangly things. And I just thought that was hilarious. And then the kid with the 3D glasses... And they go to walk up to Dixie's house, and it just fucking...
Bust Dixie. Boom! Yeah.
We needed an explosion. We really needed one.
It looks to me like they exploded that house in front of their 2 principal actors.
Oh, yeah.
Who made this movie? This is crazy. There's wood flying and stuff. Oh,
it's flawless. It's really, the explosion is fucking flawless because they got wood shrapnel flying everywhere, and they're knocked to the ground, of course. And they just get up, and apparently Riggs is an expert at explosives too.
Dude.
And mercury switches.
His badassery is an element on the periodical table. Like, yeah. It's the only thing that predates it in the universe is hydrogen. That's he is
before carbon.
He is built of
it
Vin
takes
Diesel's
100
ego.
Chuck Norris's to equal half of Riggs.
Huh? You're goddamn right. Have you seen he fucking fights Jet Li? He fights a man on the freeway. He's on a table at one point on the freeway in one of these movies. He falls out of the house thing on the plastic, and he's sliding around on this table. Good furniture, by the way, because that thing lasts a long time at highway speeds. Someone's going to hit him with the car. He throws a stick.
That's number 3. We're not talking about number 3.
Is that 3 or 4? He kills a man with a train at one point.
Does he?
Yeah.
What one was that?
That's also in 4. We're both in 4 for these.
God damn it, I'm going to have to watch all these again.
There's so many great action set pieces in them. Diplomatic immunity just been revoked. Yeah, we are going to have to move along. So, Dixie's house explodes. Riggs, well, he's an expert in explosives that were used by special forces in Vietnam.
Yeah.
No, he's not an expert at getting information out of a kid because Danny Glover has to do that in the most patronizing way possible. I was waiting for the kid to just flip him off, go, fuck you.
It was the part that pissed me off. So there's 4 kids sitting around, and he goes, hey, kids, do you want some ice cream?
Oh, yeah, and he doesn't give that one the ice cream.
Or all 4 of them try to run, and he holds the kid that has the information. No, wait, not for you.
Not for you.
Fuck you, old guy. I want ice cream.
He'll never talk to the cops again because this has been built into his child brain that you don't get ice cream if you talk to the cops.
Yeah.
That's worse than... Oh, but they have all the little, they're worried about, he'll arrest you, and it's a cute little scene. It's great. And then we find out these guys are special forces. We find it out twice in this sequence, because it's, hey, we used to use this in Vietnam, and the kid goes, that's the
same
Vietnam tattoo.
Yeah.
Special
Riggs
forces.
has the same special forces tattoo as the guy that planted the bomb. Which, dun dun dun. Yeah.
So they go, you know what? At first we thought this was pretty thin, like Fiona Apple thin. But now, it's getting a little bit more, it's more of a Marilyn Monroe. I mean, it's thin, but it's graceful,
Wasn't she overweight?
Marilyn Monroe?
Technically?
Hollywood overweight?
By like BMI standards.
No, that's a myth feminists put out. You could look that one up, actually. No.
No?
No.
All right.
No.
But Betty Page was.
Probably not.
Had to be. She had fucking hips. Like hips.
That's okay for a woman. They're supposed to shoot children out of those. Like their hips are wider because their pelvis works like a snake's mouth, where it's not connected. And lets a baby out.
It made every female pelvis scary to me now. Like it's just gonna envelop me.
You didn't let me do like a gumball machine sound effect for the baby coming out. Yeah. So they go, let's go back to our buddy's house and figure out what's going on. They go back. Oh, it's the funeral.
Yeah, it's the funeral for the daughter.
Spared no expense because it is a scenic funeral. And
like Malibu
there must
or
have
something.
been they're going to interrogate him about his involvement in crime.
Yeah.
The eulogy for his daughter's going on, and they're interrogating him.
He's in his house.
Like, did they pin his arm behind his back and drag him?
He
at least show him the respect of. But it's lucky thing they did because he's starting to tell him everything, right? Yeah. He's like Shadow Company, Vietnam, heroin, General Petraeus, all this stuff. It's all going down, right? And Chelsea Manning and all that. And
they do a great scene where it's got Murtaugh interrogating his friend.
And Riggs always
there's
back.
a window between them. Like the scene's cut back, and there's a window between them, and you see Riggs like hanging out outside, not in the funeral, just by a palm tree.
Riggs does have a healthy respect for Murtaugh throughout this whole film.
Oh yeah.
He's not glib about Murtaugh's skill level at all. He's like, yeah, sure, I could shoot a smiley face at 100 yards.
Yeah,
I'm a pretty good guy, but I will defer to your authority. You can drive every single time you want. Like they don't really get in a fight about that ever. He's like, you want to drive? Go ahead, drive. But he's self-confident.
He let him talk to his friend, and as they're talking, and he finally explains everything, and he's about to give the name of the guy, out of nowhere,
got
fucking
milk?
helicopter. fucking helicopter comes down.
Comes up, yeah.
With Gary Busey with a fucking machine gun.
It's a sniper rifle.
Is it a sniper rifle? Just boom, right through the fucking chest.
I love
of
the
his
milk
buddy.
carton pop.
Is it?
There's you see the bullet first. I remember this differently. I remember it as seeing the milk carton pop first, but I think when I watched it today, you can tell that he's shot, and then the milk carton also does pop. But yeah, so you got the visual implication that a bullet went all the way through him and through his milk carton. It's really sweet.
Yeah.
And Riggs is having none of that.
Yeah.
He is out there with his Beretta 9mm, and he
gonna take down a helicopter. Try to.
He is Terminator-like. He is T-1000, run through the clip, continue, drop that clip, run through another clip as the chopper's going
Just
away.
Loading it into it, yeah.
And, Murtaugh takes the violent death of his Vietnam buddy who saved his life pretty well, because he just goes outside. You done yet? And Riggs goes, I haven't even started.
Dun, dun, dun.
And I don't think we've even started yet. But we are starting now. So we're going to have an act break, and then we're going to come back.
Top this movie off?
Yeah. All right. Podcasting was the only thing I was ever good at.
We're just going to keep...
When I was 19, I podcasted a man 1,000 yards. 1,000 yards at Laos. There ain't but 9 or 10 people in the world that can podcast that well. This podcast must be registered as a lethal weapon.
All right, hit the button.
It's Christmas Eve in L.A.
California.
Is Daddy coming home with you?
Well, we'll see what Santa and Mommy can do, okay?
And New York cop John McClane has come to see his wife.
I missed you.
Instead, he's going to have to save her.
Sit down.
Within this skyscraper high above the city, 12 terrorists have declared war.
They're about to be taught a lesson in the real use of power.
They're as brilliant
because I am interested in the $640 million in your vault
as they are ruthless.
And I'm telling you, you're just going to have to kill me. Okay. We do it the hard way.
Now, the last thing McClane wants...
Think, damn it, think!
...is to be a hero.
Where's Howard? Hey, Tucker! Where?
But he doesn't have a choice.
What does he think he's doing?
Job.
They have already killed one hostage.
This channel is reserved for emergency calls only.
Hey, do I sound like I'm ordering a pizza?
He's inside? Who is he? Who are you then? You are most troublesome for a security guard.
Sorry, wrong guess, huh? Would you like to go for double jeopardy?
Do you really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
Yippee-ki-yay, mother... You just destroyed a building. And I am in charge of this situation. Well, I got some bad news for you. From up here, that look like you're in charge of Jack. He is alone, he is tired, and he hasn't seen diddly squat from anybody down here.
Hey, pal, how you feeling?
All things being equal, I'd rather be in Philadelphia. I want blood.
And you have it.
Only John can drive somebody that crazy.
He's an easy guy to like.
Come out to the coast, we'll get together, have a few laughs.
And a hard man to kill. Bruce Willis, Die Hard.
Got invited to the Christmas party by mistake. Who knew?
All right, welcome back to Rated 80s Presents Massacre on 34th Street, our X-mas Action AXEstravaganza.
Yes.
Episode 1 of 5, Lethal Weapon. Oh my goodness, we finally have a movie going now.
Yes.
We have real investigation of a real enemy. These guys are serious. They have shot a guy right in front of the police from a helicopter. It's time to go. Let's do some street work casually, because nothing ever goes bad when we casually investigate things in this movie. Let's go out, wander out, do some street work, talk to some hookers, find out some more information. This seems kind of scattered, actually, this method of investigating. Like, oh, just go back to the hookers thing. Like, maybe we should dig into this guy's banking records or something?
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
You think that would be the move?
Yeah.
But no, we're going to go find Dixie's friends and chat with her.
Yeah.
Which Riggs
It would probably work in the long run. One thing they do in this movie a lot of the time is they just have other cops doing most of their detective work. They'll show up with some information and hand it to them and stuff, and they'll do more interesting things. But so what's more interesting than checking the bank records is probably talking to street hookers.
Which on the list, I think that's higher than checking bank records.
It's definitely, more Mel Gibson speed. So he decides he's going to do that. He goes out there. He's charming him up, talking to him. Boom! Shot in the chest, shotgun blast from a car, through a plate glass Merry Christmas window. Mel Gibson is dead. Movie over. Thank you for listening to Comics on Film. This has been great. He's not dead.
Yeah, if they
Shyamalan twist. He's not dead.
There's always a Shyamalan
It was modern
twist.
times all the time, and Bruce Willis is alive, and so is Mel Gibson.
And Danny Glover runs over to him to make sure he's okay. He's like, "Oh, good, you wore your vest."
And then he wakes up with animal instincts, pulls his gun, almost kills Danny Glover, which would have been horrible. That would have been all the PTSD this guy's got already, and the guilt from his wife dying in a car crash. And then he shoots his new partner who he just made this great relationship with. He'd be put in a mental institution. It'd be called sedated weapon.
He should be in a mental institution anyway.
But now he is pissed.
Yeah, I love that line where he just pops up and he goes, "Now I'm pissed, Raj. Now I'm pissed."
I've never had anyone try to directly kill me that I know of.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just incredibly lucky and sidestep buckets falling off scaffolding and stuff that are aimed at me. I just don't know. But I think it would make me mad if someone tried to actually
I think he was just mad that he didn't walk into the bullets this time, because he was fine with walking into the bullets all the other times.
Well, he just regained his will to live an evening ago.
Yeah.
And then the next day, someone shoots him in the chest from a moving car.
One nice dinner of shitty roast, and I want to live.
Yeah, maybe I could have a boat someday, he's thinking.
Yeah.
But so he's all right. We got to get these guys. But before they even get a chance to get these guys, turns out these guys have gotten Danny Glover's daughter.
Yeah.
And now it is on.
Because obviously, if they know who Riggs is, they can track down who Danny Glover is.
Yeah, they got some connections or something. They've killed her boyfriend.
They race back to Danny Glover's house, and there's a note.
Ransom note. Yeah, it's very threatening. And they go, "Man, this is serious."
Yeah.
And they get a phone call immediately. These guys probably got a guy watching the house or something.
You would think.
They get a phone call right away. But they must not have a guy watching the house, because they do think Riggs is dead.
Yeah.
Because Riggs has convinced the entire police force to pretend he's dead.
Yeah. And Gary Busey calls to make sure, acting like a reporter.
Yep.
Yeah.
That works. But they're playing it. It's good. It's all written well. So he gets a phone call. Meet us at Dry Lake in Victorville, California, I believe. I think I've played Victorville.
Really?
Yeah, I think I played Dry Lake, actually.
Oh.
It wasn't a booking. I just took a speaker and a microphone out there. That's how I practice.
Just wandered to the shores.
So I go, meet us in a scenic place for a good hostage exchange.
Yeah.
We don't want to kill her. We just want to know what you got told before we managed to shoot that guy through the milk carton.
Yeah, which Riggs automatically calls bullshit. They're like, no. She ain't going to live.
If sit down here next to the Christmas tree. Let's have some dramatic irony. You know they're going to kill her, Roger. If you want her back, we're going to have to take her. We're going to get bloody on this one. Are you really as good as you say you are? I'm a lethal weapon.
He doesn't say that.
Yeah, none of that happens.
The saxophone kicks in.
Most of that happens, yeah. No, he goes yeah, dude, I'm serious, man. I can shoot a smiley face at 100 yards. I used to work podcasting in the tunnels of Vietnam. I'm pretty legit dude, all right? And we're going to do this. Let's take the wimpiest car known to man for the hostage. Yeah, let's stop by the set of the Brady Bunch, and we'll grab that car, and then we're gonna drive to this hostage exchange. It's an interesting scene, I think, because it's obviously a location shoot.
Yeah.
So they pull up, they get a good spot for Riggs to hop out. Secret Riggs is dead, as far as the baddies know.
Yeah.
Sneaks out with a sniper rifle, goes running. Tactically, he's doing a serpentine run for no reason.
Yeah.
He's just, hey, this is kind of cool.
Running
I look like
somebody's
a soldier.
shooting at him.
Yeah. Sets up his sniper rifle to overwatch this hostage exchange.
Yeah.
And it's this white clay sand stuff. I don't know much about Southern California's geography.
It's a dry lake.
It's a dry lake. Yeah,
it's flat on the bottom. There used to be water.
But it's not regular sand. I don't want it to sound like it's a white sandy beach where they're doing. It's like this weird, gross, white dust. It looks like drywall dust.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
And it's blowing really badly all over Danny Glover.
Yeah.
In a movie these days, you wouldn't. No. Get a thing up over there so he's not half covered in chalk.
Yeah.
We don't want people to think that, Danny Glover is trying to become a white person or something and post that on the internet like there's weird subtext, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But it's like real and gritty and 80s to the max. It's extreme 80s-ness.
So the baddies pull up in a Caprice Classic limo.
Mm-hmm.
The limo's driving, then they got an SUV full of more baddies, because you need more. And then a helicopter over those baddies.
This sequence inspired almost every cutscene of every mission in every Grand Theft Auto where you're dealing with bad guys, because they look like Miami Vice. Like they've got suits on and Uzis and big heavy-duty guns and sunglasses
every time.
And it's like, wow, this is a Grand Theft Auto game come to life. And they have this negotiation going, and Glover's character, the way he's going to control this situation, he obviously can't outgun these guys, so he's got a hand grenade.
Yeah.
Hand grenades are serious stuff. I don't know if you've seen the Mythbusters. You're not just going to throw some weirdo on it and have it not work.
Yeah.
It's going to throw shrapnel. He's like, you want to kill my daughter? I'll kill her instead. She'll die on my terms.
Yeah.
And Busey's like, such a badass.
Yeah.
Such a frightening I mean, he's scarier now. But
Ever since that motorcycle accident, he's never been the same.
Skinny, horse teeth Gary Busey is like... He's giving him a lecture. He's like, it's not going to work. He's like, check it out, whatever.
Yeah.
And Riggs he's waiting back there to get his shot. He needs the shots, certain shots. He's like, come on, man, move over, whatever. It's not working out. Finally, everything lines up, and he just starts taking guys out.
Yeah.
Like some sort of human lethal weapon.
And Glover throws the
grenade. Shyamalan twist. It's a smoker.
Yep.
Not a real grenade.
Just a smoker.
Yep. And that enables them to get enough time to like take down a good portion of them.
Oh, yeah.
And it would have worked. Except the one bad guy we don't see in this scene, the General Schwarzkopf, is back there in the woods with Riggs. He pops up behind him and captures. So everyone gets captured.
Yeah.
Just when you think it's all going to go the right way, everybody in this movie gets captured and they all get taken behind a nightclub. Because it's the 80s.
Yeah, you got to have a gunfight in a nightclub. That's just a fucking rule. Women don't know how to
this
cook.
Happened
and a nightclub shootout.
Because nightclub shootouts were a constant feature of society during the Coke War, though. That's like a truism. There was, they were always like, you got your club, then you got your club mobbed up owner, and then you got your club drug dealers that the owner has worked there, and then they do drug deals, and then just shootings at clubs all the time.
Sense.
You remember the 80s?
I was 7.
You weren't clubbing it?
No. No.
Backyard barbecues would get shot up a lot. Just random houses down the Crenshaw, Compton area would get shot up.
Oh, I know about drive-bys, but
clubs in Miami, New York, and LA were getting steady sprayed with bullets throughout the 80s. So it's a true, it's a cliche, but it's a cliche, Bill. Lots of things in the 80s are cliche.
Yeah.
Like robotic cops. But it's something we had to keep Detroit in line.
That's not real?
No, it is. That's what I'm saying. That was based on a true story. Peter Weller ain't but like 2/3 human anymore in this day and age. So they're all caught. And we've gone from, this is interesting pacing for a movie, right? We've gone from the lowest point possible to winning to back to the lowest point possible plus one.
Yeah.
Everyone's tied up and there's going to be some torture.
They got Glover in a chair. They got...
Glover in a chair and a wife beater. He's been shot in the arm, too. He got caught one in the arm.
Yep.
They got his daughter. She didn't make it away. Tried her best.
She's tied up.
Tried to get away with the limo.
And Mel
they
Gibson
stopped her with a chopper. And Mel Gibson is shirtless and about to be tortured by an Asian man.
Yeah.
And since it was the 80s, every gang had an Asian man in it.
Yeah.
Who is it's not the same guy from Die Hard, but it looks almost like the guy from Die Hard.
Are you sure it's not the same guy?
I'm pretty sure it's not the same guy.
It looks dead on.
But at least we've gotten to the 80s where they're actually casting Asians to play Asians. Not like The King and I and all those movies. They just cast white people. He looks kind of olive-eyed. So anyway, David Carradine is about to torture torture Mel Gibson, and he says some stupid line. This is one of the weaker lines. Busey's talking to him. He's like, Mr. Ito here, or whatever, Ichiro here has forgotten more about administering pain than most people will. I've always hated that phrase.
That is a weak line.
Most people will. Why would you forget? Like, you're a craftsman. You should know all of it.
Yeah.
And be able to explain, like, why you would administer pain in a certain way to your apprentice. And remember, like, you don't forget how to do things as you get better at them. It's a stupid phrase. I mean, it's intimidating to hear.
If he's a pro torturer, you think he'd have kind of better gear than a...
As a pro torturer, it's mostly freelance, right? Like, you got to charge a lot per gig because it only comes up every so often. Like, and, you know, these are cops, so you want to get pretty much a lot of money because this is this is a terrifying... The movie is not necessarily a dark film.
No.
But this in concept, from the point where they shoot his Vietnam buddy through his milk carton at the funeral on, it's just horrifying.
Yeah, it takes
all
a
of it,
dark
they're
turn.
bad guys that the cops are scared of, and then they try and kill a cop, and then they kidnap a cop's daughter, and the cops are just powerless at this point. And it's getting really... And they've got his daughter in the same room with him for Murtaugh's character. And they're going to torture the daughter.
And you would think dirty shit is going to happen to the daughter. Like,
it is very much implied that something horrible. And it's even so dark because they don't know if Murdoch. They don't know if Murtaugh is telling them the truth. And they know that torture doesn't really work. But they know if they go far enough with the daughter, they'll be able to tell whether or not he's telling the truth. Which again, just change where you're having your heroin sale. All these problems go away. Hey, just
call
reschedule.
A guy.
Especially the guy they're doing the heroin trade with is just some guy who's like terrified of them.
Yeah.
Instead of Friday at 7, we're doing it Tuesday at 3. Okay, people who scare me to death.
Done.
Yeah.
All right.
And then you don't have to murder 2 police officers and one of their daughters. But I digress. It's not my place to tell Mr. Joshua or General Petraeus what to do.
And so they got Danny Glover and his daughter. They chained his daughter up to the
And you got some more people with the Mr. names. There's Mr. Joshua, which of course is just scary for some weird reason. Then there's like Mr. Big. He goes, we'll see what happens after Mr. Big's done with your daughter.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my goodness, it doesn't seem like there's no knives or anything pulled out. It doesn't seem like they're going to punch her. This is implied rape.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
And Busey does the one fatal mistake. He leaves the hero with the torturer.
But he seems to have tortured him completely past the point of consciousness, right? He's like, no one could withstand that pain. But one of the things he forgot about administering pain was how much someone could withstand. So...
Damn it, just slipped his mind.
So it's nice setup payoff there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mel Gibson just seems to be completely ragdolled at this point. He's made some threats, though. That's the other thing I don't like in action movies.
What?
When someone is obviously like, they're chained to a gas heater or something, and their other guy is like, I'm going to kill you, If someone told me that and I had them chained, just to be sure, I'd blow their brains out.
True
right
Lies
there.
did this perfectly.
Oh, True Lies has the best one of those ever.
Well, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to take those, and I'm going to stab him in the head.
It almost
and then
makes
break
up
his
for
neck.
that horrible thing with the machine gun falling down the stairs later in the film. True Lies does a lot of things very, very right.
So he says he's going to kill the torturer, Busey, and all that.
But they have no reason to believe him, and they are going to kill him. Let's not make it like Shane Black made a huge mistake here. It's an action trope. It's done well. Maybe you would threaten him. I would not. If I was chained to the thing.
Would it even be a trope at that point? I don't think it would be. I don't think it's been done very much.
This movie was trope bending in a way. I mean, the buddy cop film's been around for a long, long time.
Yeah.
This is like a buddy cop film where a guy sat down and goes, I'm going to do it right.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to make it predictable.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make it truly horrifying at points. And these are going to be real people interacting with each other. They have real lives, real families. It's not just, like Clint Eastwood and Chimp.
Gritty as hell.
Yeah.
No chimp involved.
Yeah. Meet your new partner. He's eating bananas and throwing his shit at me. Like, it's a mixed matched couple of cops. Gotta go fight crime. Fucking, no, these
so
are
he ends up breaking the torture guy's neck.
And so, Mr. Joshua leaves the room. Mr. Joshua is the, there's usually like the big bad boss, right? That's the general guy.
Yeah.
And then there's usually like the big bad boss's assistant, who is just a badass. That's what Mr. Joshua is. This shows up a lot in movies, you know. Indiana Jones, there's always one like super bad guy that Indiana Jones has to fight and then chops his face off with a propeller or whatever.
Yeah,
who's
or
like
just shoots a gun at him after sword swinging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's always these guys, and so Mr. Joshua is that, but he's a pretty well developed one of those.
Yeah.
And
Mel Gibson breaks the torturer's neck and busts
with his feet. I think he might have used his calves, but he didn't even use his thighs. Like, he just, you know, I think...
he did the classic break his neck with the thighs.
Mm-hmm. He gets up there, he's an MMA kind of... long before MMA was a thing. But yeah, he just... Well, alertness pops back into his eyes once he knows his moment has come. Yeah. And then he grabs him up with his feet and just...
And he busts in where Danny Glover's getting held.
Well, this is the part of the movie. This part of the screenplay has always stuck out for me.
What?
In the movie, right, the general's giving Danny Glover a lecture.
Yeah.
He's like, there are no more heroes anymore. And then Gibson comes through that door.
Yeah.
In the screenplay, this is some of the best screenwriting I've ever read. It goes, and then the devil enters the room. And I want to stop here because I won't be able to accurately describe it. But what I want you to know is this man is not Chuck Norris. What he is systematically killing everyone in the room.
Is that what he wrote down?
Yeah, that's what he writes down. And he's still got
right.
the chains on him, so it goes into a little bit of detail. But, I mean, when you watch the movie, having read that, that is what happens.
Yeah.
He is not Jackie Channing. He's just brutalizing these people in a way that shows that he has like some Jason Bourne type skills.
Yeah.
First Jason Bourne movie, the best one.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? If there's an opportunity for me to put my fingers in your jugular and knock you out, I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to snap your neck, drop you to the floor, move to the next guy.
Yeah.
And nothing you do will stop me.
Yeah.
He is just a human meat grinder coming at these people.
Busey runs away, gets away from it somehow.
Busey books it. The general books it. They have a little quipping back and forth.
Yeah.
Pretty thin. Fucking anorexic. That's where that line is, you know. And they're not satisfied though.
Yeah, Riggs goes chasing after Busey.
They kill their way through the nightclub. That's how we know this is in a nightclub. They probably should have just gone out of the back door, but they get to the nightclub and they're like, there's probably some goons in here, and they do some good sneaking. There's some good 80s dark nightclub lighting as they sneak through, and suddenly
flashing lights and a shitty band.
Goons start going at them, and you get that like bling, like in Metal Gear, and then Mel Gibson is triggered, and he snap, kills them, shoots them, whatever it takes till they get to the alley. And they're still chasing him. The whole rest of this movie's kind of a chase. Like there's a long chase sequence in here.
When Mel Gibson's chasing Gary Busey, I remember watching that. That was one of my most vivid memories as a kid watching this movie. Is that first thing I remember Mel Gibson running with that huge head of hair he has in this movie. I remember watching it. I think the first time I saw it was with my uncle, and I remember my uncle going, "Run like a dog." I don't know why that stuck in my head.
Why would you run like a dog?
I don't know.
That's weird.
I think he's just saying like as an expression.
But this is Mel Gibson at about his physical peak, and he is doing some running that puts T-1000s running to, because he gets to actually have emotions too, as opposed to T-1000. But the two most terrifying rundowns, I think, of the 80s are the T-1000 chasing the kid on the bike and catching up with him physically. It's in the 90s, I guess.
Yeah, different.
Different decade, but still. 80s. Oh, totally. And this Mel Gibson, I mean, the intent on his face, like he is really going.
And he's trying to chase down Busey. Meanwhile, Glover's like,
he really doesn't like this Gary Busey character.
No, who would?
Yeah, I mean, but it's like it's been set up like a video game match, right? Keep all the cutscenes are of this Wesker type guy, and he's like, "I'm going to kill you, Wesker." But they finally get to the point
where he kills. Or he doesn't get Busey.
He doesn't get Busey. He gives it the good old try, though.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of gunplay.
And Glover went after Big Bad.
There's a great part. Glover has to stop. He's 50.
Yeah.
In the screenplay. He's like, I can't go anymore. But, hey, Riggs, he's going to the freeway. So if you run down a certain set of streets, you'll be able to cut him off.
Yeah. Which is totally...
That's bullshit.
Yeah,
There's no way.
That's fucking random.
Yeah, he's driving a stolen car.
Yeah.
But you need to get it that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no way that, I mean, he didn't like take a pedestrian overpass over a block street or anything.
Yeah.
Or run through a building. He did all street running too, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay that we did that, and then there's a good gun battle on the freeway, and Gary Busey gets away.
Yeah.
And Mel Gibson gets hit by a car. Mel Gibson goes through a lot. This is...
Oh, yeah.
Around the time of Die Hard.
Yeah, it's like the Die
Hard. It doesn't do
Hard.
the same physical payoffs that Die Hard, the other great Christmas action movie that we're going to be talking about later this month.
I like
Die
how
Hard.
in the 80s,
I think was the first one to really tear the guy all the way down.
They put the hero through some shit in the 80s.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Specifically in this movie and the next. Like, Glover and Riggs are fucked up by the end of this movie. They're just bleeding everywhere. And Glover, after Riggs takes off, because Glover's tired, or Murtaugh is tired, he goes back to find the big guy.
Well, he sees him driving. He wants him very badly. Well, he should. The guy kidnapped his daughter, tried to kill him, was about to rape the daughter, or have one of his goons rape her. You know, I mean, it's time to get going on.
Yeah.
And the guy pulling around in the car, and Murtaugh sees him. And the general's like, kill that cop. Just run him over. Like, even at this point, they're not willing to cash in their chips and just book it out of town, bad guys. Like, you've been bested. You're facing a lethal weapon. Like, you need to... you haven't figured this out yet? But Murtaugh pulls out his 38. I think it's a 38 revolver.
Yeah. 6-shooter.
Yep. A lot of old timers carry those. He pulls that out and puts in his magical 80s cop bullets that make cars flip over and crash into stuff. He shoots that car down. And then,
he's shooting at the car, and then the car gets hit by a bus.
He hits the driver.
Yeah.
You're thinking of a completely different movie. He hits the driver. It might get hit by a bus. I think you're right.
It gets hit by a bus. That's how it flips over.
I was thinking of part 4 where there's another car that gets hit by a semi.
They do the action sequence almost from Batman Returns, where there's Glover's on the middle of the street with his 38, and the car's coming straight at him, and he pops the fucking driver, and then it gets hit by the bus and flips over.
And you can't really see it that great, but he does this great thing where there's some he's in an alley, but there's like a window or something, and he kind of jumps up and grabs the bars on the window to get out of the way of the oncoming vehicle. Then the general flips his car over, and there's grenades in there, and he explodes, and he dies.
Yeah. Pretty easy.
And Joshua gets away.
Killing of the biggest bad guy in the movie.
There's it's implied that maybe Glover get in there and save him. But then he didn't. But no, he couldn't actually get in. There's just a bunch of grenades in there.
Yeah.
Huge, good 80s explosion. Let it happen. Yeah. I don't know if a fire would take a blasting cap and a grenade. Probably would,
Yeah, I can see that.
A lot of collateral damage for that.
But
in the 80s, collateral damage police officers, I mean, these guys are firing their guns every day. Not a stitch of paperwork. They don't care. So, Mr. Joshua gets away. They've got all this wrapped up. The daughter's put in police protection.
Yeah.
But they realize Mr. Joshua knows where Danny Glover lives.
Yeah. So they're automatically, and I don't know why, since they took the daughter the first time, why he didn't just evacuate his family?
Family's gone.
I know, but he thinks his family's still at the house.
No, he just goes, he knows where I live.
Oh.
So we're going there now. But they beat him there. The family is gone by the time they get there.
Yeah.
And then they leave a note to counteract the other note that the ransom guys left, when they kidnapped the daughter.
Yeah.
And it says, hey, bad guys. Nobody here but us cops. Sorry, the good guys.
Yeah.
And then, because Riggs is a rational man, he's rigged a police squad car to crash through his new best friend's house.
Like you do.
Yeah.
So that they shoot him, throw a car at him.
We need a distraction. Yeah, Bruce Willis would take that advice to heart. 3.5 Die Hards later.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a chopper. I guess I'll become the Incredible Hulk and throw a car at it. So, they do that. They capture him.
And they have him
they could just put him in handcuffs and probably find out a lot about this organization.
Or find out where the next heroin shipments come from. It's done
they know
after this.
Later this week it's coming in. You get some information from them. They've killed every other goon that they know of with these guys.
Yeah.
But in order for the trauma of Mel Gibson's wife dying horribly in a car wreck earlier before the movie.
Is this your conspiracy theory in the movie?
He must self-actualize by beating a man to death.
Well, yeah.
In the rain.
Yeah.
It's lucky for him it doesn't rain in LA very often. But it starts raining.
Yeah. And they're on Glover.
Seal shows up, starts singing Kiss from a Rose. And Glover. So they have rarely can you see
I love that song.
Well,
that's 2 Batman references in like 10 minutes.
How to sing it.
Shut up.
So they have so they're.
I was singing it right.
Huh? I didn't mean the lyrics.
Oh, okay.
Anyway. All right, come on. We got 4 minutes to wrap this up.
They're on the lawn.
Mm-hmm.
And they have him captured, like dead to rights. And
they're like, you want to do a little MMA?
Yeah.
Like, nothing I'd like better. And there's a long fight sequence ruined.
Huge, really long.
You could make this not make no sense if you just didn't have the cop show up till the fight was over.
Yeah.
But my big problem with this movie is that the whole rest of the police force shows up and Murtaugh stops them from intervening in this weird homoerotic ritual these guys are involved in.
And they brutalize the shit out of each other.
Oh yeah, the ribs.
Such a great fight.
There's like a broken arm on
Nut
Riggs,
punches.
and his ribs are cracked in the script. I don't know if all that. He picks up a lamp post, like a street lamp, and starts hitting him with it.
Does
and
he?
They throw him a baton. He gets a big stick from somewhere. I think from the Christmas decorations.
He throws Riggs the baton, and he's blocking all the shots.
Bing, bing. Yeah, and Riggs is almost. Oh, you know what? He doesn't kill him during the fight.
He gets him down on the ground on like an arm
chokes him
bar,
completely out,
and is about to choke him out.
Yeah, well, he passes him out basically.
Yeah,
and all right, arrest him. I don't need to kill him. I've healed now. I've self-actually. A shirtless fight in the rain with Gary Busey was all I needed. I now have the will to live.
Yeah,
and then it's the 80s. Big Bad is still alive, gets a gun. You gotta Die Hard. Boom, boom, boom. Except this one is a bromance Die Hard because they're like hugging each other when they realize, and they both come up with guns shirtless and fire at him and kill him.
One lower than the other. It was basically the red shirts or the other cops come to grab him, and like nobody has him. Nobody has his arms, so he just reaches for a gun. What the fuck? What?
Yeah.
You're fired.
This is an experiment you can do at home, listeners. If you see a police officer, try and take his gun. See how easy that is. I don't care how much special forces training you have. It's snapped into a holster, and there is some muscle memory on that man that will break your arm before slamming your head into the hood of a car 3 or 4 times. And even with body cams, that gets on YouTube, you're just going to be called a dick by everyone. Don't do that.
And pro tip, don't be black and do that.
Yeah, that's a life pro tip.
Get a lot faster.
Here, you got like life hacks on the internet. Yeah, that's a good one for those. Yeah.
That's pretty much the end of the movie.
Lethal Weapon. Yeah,
they live happily ever after till the next movie when they got
Joe Pesci shows up.
Oh, yep.
Joe Pesci is bolted on, and then Chris Tucker, and then Chow Yun-Fat, or not Chow Yun-Fat, Jet Li.
Jet Li, yeah.
And then they're just like, we can't do any more of these. And they get, I think, progressively worse.
I don't know. I think I like 2 better than 1.
It's hard to top the original in terms of like just to take a tired genre and revitalize it. Yeah. But then 3... when they go and blow up a building because it's fun for them at the beginning of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
And muscling on the bomb squad's work.
But they save a cat.
Huh? You're supposed to save a cat. There's a screenwriting book called Save the Cat.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
This movie kind of violates a lot of that stuff. So the theory is, right in the first introduction of your character, you should have them do something altruistic so that the audience will realize they're the good person.
Oh.
It's based on the idea that Sigourney Weaver saves a cat in Alien, but that's way later in the movie, so it doesn't really add up. But yeah, a lot of movies will have this happen where they do something good right away, so you know that that's the good person. Then you kill the cat also as the bad guy shows up, and it's like slaps his woman around or whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess.
It's screenwriting theory by I think Sid Field, who passed away a couple years ago. But this one doesn't necessarily. The save the cat moment for Riggs is when he
doesn't kill himself.
Parent tells a criminal to kill him or controls a suicide off a building, but that's way too late in the script to make it save the cat. I mean, that's a good genre twister. So, I think we both like this movie, right?
Oh, I dig it.
We love it
immensely.
Yeah. And it gave us some more good movie. I mean, they do get pretty absurd when you're driving a car through an office building. Like, that sequence always bothered me.
Yeah.
So much. But I think they're all pretty decent action movies. The 4th one definitely has like, we could do this one more time and kind of half-ass it and have a good time feeling to it.
The fight scene with Jet Li under the docks and all that stuff, that's an amazing sequence of fighting between them. They tag teamed this dude the whole time. They get fucked up the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
Belligerently beat up. Like,
I always wondered if they'd make a 5th one because the 4th one is so It's like screaming, we're too old to do this. They keep saying it. I mean, how many times does Murtaugh say it? I'm too old for this.
In the first one, 5
times.
5 times.
And then the second one, he's 2 weeks from retirement but doesn't retire.
And he's still too old for this shit.
Yeah, he's so too old for this shit. And by the fourth one, they're both going, we're too old for this shit. And they say it a lot because I don't think they want to do another one, but they wanted to have the experience. Like Return of the Jedi kind of feels like that a little bit, where like, I guess we could do one more, and everyone has kind of a good time. There's a group shot, like the end, like an album cover at the end of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, there's also that at the end of the first one, but yeah, and Harrison Ford didn't want to do it, but Harrison Ford will show up if you give him money, apparently.
Yeah. So that's the first installment of Massacre on 34th Street for the Christmas holidays.
I'm liking it. I'm liking this idea. It's good to give something back to the listeners who have given us so much.
So
much. Like, groceries. Buy me groceries, guys.
God damn it. Somebody buy them groceries.
I'm happy that we found, because we got 5 weeks of December, 5 Christian action movies. One of them's horror.
Christian action movies?
Christmas action movies.
You said Christian.
Huh?
You totally did. I am not. I want to hear the playback on that one.
I guess we have to rename the podcast again. Christian action movies, the podcast, where we go back through action movies and
make them holy.
We explain how you would rewrite it from an evangelical point of view.
They just wouldn't get made. From the first 30 seconds of the boobs in this movie, done. No movie.
Do check us out online. Rated80s.com. At Rated80s on Twitter. What else we got? Rated80s on Facebook.
Yeah.
We got a lot of good stuff going on with the website now. We got a forum. We just put up, we got downloadable episodes. I should stop saying this because eventually these will all be on iTunes and they'll be like, how can we keep saying they're not on iTunes yet, but they're going to be on iTunes? But for those listening in real time, we will be on iTunes soon. Yeah. I think so.
We're probably going to be on there very soon.
Just need a little piece of cover art and I'm ready to go.
Not, you can download it straight from the website.
Download it straight from the website. Right to your music app. We're on YouTube. I'm pretty proud of what we're doing on YouTube.
Yeah.
Just because it's like, because we're gaming them. We're gaming the system on YouTube. Because it's supposed to be,
5-minute segments?
Movie.
Oh.
No, I have no idea why they're letting us upload an uncompressed 6 gigabyte visualization of audio to YouTube. It takes forever. But I don't have to host it, so it's it's really sweet. But yeah, Massacre on 34th Street. We're going to have some guests coming up.
Yep.
It's going to be good. Thank you guys for listening.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and we're going to be on Northwest Convergence Zone Radio pretty soon.
Yep.
If the timing comes out just right, this might be the first episode on there.
Nice.
So if you're listening to us on Internet Radio, we love you too. Welcome to the Rated 80s podcast. All right.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Good night. Good night.
Next week, Schindler's List.
Was the night before Christmas, when all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. You've made it through Halloween. Now try and survive Christmas. Silent night, deadly night.